Alright, we're live on my end. Jeebus. Oh. Did we lose him?
Oh, no, I was just watching a video about they're basically mercenaries, people who went to fight like in Iraq and stuff that weren't, officially sanctioned. People who went to fight because they could, not because they were getting paid. And the guy's like, yeah, there was this Asian guy. He had a weird thing for pooping on beds. Some psychological warfare thing.
Cover for everyone. Let me just switch back the audio.
Cover for everyone.
Well, I mean,
great,
yes.
The pressure's on.
If Mariner was here, we could call this the DM episode.
We could, right? But he went flying, so just let me know when you're ready on your end, Loose.
Oh, wait, let me join the watch together.
I need to open the... Yeah, I need to watch together.
No, we both made the same mistake.
Invalid access code.
Huh?
Oh, I think because I clicked the one that was in the chat, maybe. There we go.
Ah, yes, the flute that screams at me as soon as I enter.
It's not that bad, I hope.
No,
I feel like
max volume every time I join this fucking thing.
I feel like the problem will be is one day we'll join and we won't know it, and might as well just secretly have changed it to like Peruvian death flutes or whatever. The screaming.
You know, I'm very tempted to do that now.
Actually, 3D printed one. It's terrifying.
Oh God, that sounds awesome. I'm ready whenever you are.
All right, so welcome back, everyone. Well, at least the two that are available, since this session 67 of Into the Wildlands will be missing the majority of our players, but real life comes in and out, and there are other priorities that need to be done. Last we left off, not including the flashback that Oberina just had, that I had posted Thursday. The Fading Hearts had to deal with an incursion of Ed's armor corps, particularly the Emerald and the Horn Knight. After a grueling fight, they managed to defeat the Emerald Knight, and unfortunately came to realize that the Knights are able to cast, or rather Ed is able to use spells through his Knights. And due to this, the Horn Knight, which the group has more or less identified as Akra, the adopted mother of Mavis, expound with her using its heightened abilities, Dimension Door and Teleport, courtesy of Ed. During that time, which now we go to the very quick flashback part, the recap of the flashback, Oberina had a little chat with Yabala, and after going through some of her own personal memories, decided to undertake a ritual to help manage the influence of the abomination that's within her, the entity simply known as Yengol. And along with that, Arizel, who's also the champion of Bractios, the Primal Storm, is going to assist as well. So the party, heavily down in manpower, decide to handle some of the personal things, with Syndra checking into the green armor and realize that there are 5 ancient green dragon souls within. And, well, there's still some slight burned bridges between her and Tyrannin, who is currently dealing with the core, if I'm not mistaken, of the Emerald Knight. Well, a damaged Emerald core.
I thought he destroyed them.
Yes.
I did. I broke it. Shattered it into tiny, tiny, stupid pieces. Stupid wizards.
And I know I'm sitting here on with the armor scraps, trying to figure out how to get rid or to break the enchantments and all that.
Yep, so with that, you do see from a distance Diabola casting various spells of resurrection and healing, although it is taking a toll on the old chieftain. And she proceeds to return her way over to you all. And
I killed this many and only lost 5.
you've lost more, but she kind of looks over. These are the ones I was able to save within my ability. The assault from the 2 tribes, the insect tribes, have been slowly taxing us.
Yes, I can tell. They've been much more aggressive since we've returned.
I suspect it is not some coincidence that she points to the scraps of armor that are being piled up. These things are involved as well.
Yes, as you already knew, and we told you in our first meeting, this is all Dominguez's work. He takes the weak-minded and either forges them into those things or manipulates them.
Much vexing.
Not the weak-minded tyranny.
Really?
I don't know whether you're one of them.
Cinder, I'm trying to kill the man. I had a compass. I had no skill with magic.
The thing about
That doesn't mean
mages and the use of magic is that it's always a two-way street of possibilities, and yet it can also be made into a multi-path. Okay. You can just roll me either Arcana or Investigation as Yabala begins talking to the 2 of Arizel and Oberina. You see the exact same runes. You see as Nicholas, the book, had mentioned to you. You do see the same runes, each one etched in different sizes, but their effects. Let's see.
Nicholas.
Hmm?
Will destroying the runes release the souls?
It is a possibility, although usually the book pauses to think. I'm just gonna roll this for him. Where's your... Here you are. there is a high possibility that while it does release a soul, that will depend on the strength of the soul. Weaken souls that have been broken, malleable into, well, whatever form it will be, will simply cease to exist. I don't suppose you know the concept of soul coins, do you?
Weirdly enough, yes.
Ah, this will make my explanation much easier then. A soul coin, each soul is not worth the same equivalent amount as another soul. Strong souls can be broken down to more inferior pieces if need be, but the quality, as I said before, will degrade, and if made into something superior, vast amounts of inferior souls will need to be consumed to equivalent that part, thus breaking the runes, which is a binding force of it. Yes, it would release the powerful soul if it is still existing, but keep in mind that if they have been fragmented enough, they may simply just dissipate. In the short term, yes, they will be released. In the long term, do not expect something less than wish spell to bring them entirely back.
Let's see. He looks back at the green armor. Tell me, Tyrion, would you take a chance at freedom even if it meant your soul was destroyed?
Freedom or be locked in there with 4 other blues? Kill me now. Can I have a second, though? I've been working on my telepathy. Let's see if we can ask them.
Okay. Now, Tyrion, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. Okay.
9.
This is what's going to happen now. So, Syndra, you see Tyrion performing what you can only guess is his mental abilities. And can you roll me a perception?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. The DC wasn't too high because if you're holding on to the armor, you feel the armor shudder for a brief moment. And Tyrion slumps down because Tyrion, right now your mind has went somewhere else.
Shit. What the fuck?
So, let's get some dark music here because this is not a peaceful thing here.
This is a fucking anvil.
Yes. That's exactly what you see, Tyrion, as you look around. Can you roll me a... Roll me either Arcana or Religion.
Both save. Fucking A7.
Well, at least we'll know that in come the next Drake Salvation, you'll be rolling hot. But the best you can put in right now, you're having another out-of-body experience.
God damn it. I swear I've been practicing that. Alright. Big, scary death face. Can I read the runes going up that weird, milky forge pillar thing?
Yes, you can certainly try. Perception or investigation.
10!
Well, you see a very familiar rune amongst all the other ones. And let me...
And scribble, scribble, scribble. Cinder's gonna be so pissed when I come back from with no information.
Moogle, can you tell me how you do the shift the information thing without having to make us Schultz players? It was the Shift Z, something like that?
I think so. Let me look it up real quick.
Because you do... Let me see. How do I... Will that work? No.
Oh, that just... Wait.
Wait, I think I have it. Hold on.
Well, I'm sure one of the runes that I see is probably the one, Primal Singularity, but do I also see the Rune of Life? Since I've seen that one before, too.
Actually, you don't see the singularity in this one.
Oh.
You see one, well, actually, you've seen it multiple times. You saw it on Oberina's book and on her necklace.
The only way I do it is not show all players, but you can edit it and set it to be in certain people's journals.
That's alright, I'll figure it out, somehow. But...
It's like the Shift Z, but you don't put the token down.
yes. It's alright. I'll experiment on it another time. But... you do see that particular rune along with the other rune of life. Oh wait, did Tyrion hear that? Or was it just me?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you see the rune of life, but also the rune of death.
Alright. What the fuck? What?
And it's put in the same pattern. Life, death, over and over.
Oh. Oh, this is something about rebirth. I think. I've only tried to do it one other time, but I'm just gonna go cross-eyed and try to stare at the fucking rune on my forehead and see if it can tell me anything.
Okay. Roll, for this one, you just have to roll me a straight up intelligence now.
It's fine, I haven't been trained in anything anyway.
Okay. As you're doing this, you do hear a voice speaking from that huge forge. And with that 4 that I rolled, let's grab that. This over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, here we go. Okay. You hear a female voice speak to you. And it calls out, "Why are you here? One who is like us, but still whole."
I don't know.
As you look, you see a disembodied head that belongs to
Ugh.
can easily identify it as a green dragon.
Ah! Quick question, are there 4 of the, dragons in there? Or are there 4 of the U's in there?
There is a slight pause, as if it was a vacant look, and then it hisses at the direction of the forge. Roll me a D100.
Okay. 50. Exactly.
Well, that
Wow.
changes things. As the female disembodied head hisses, you hear 4 others hissing as well, as they too come out, but in different tattered sets. One with a more fully elongated head, another looking as if it was disemboweled and more of a skeletal form. Another a bit more of a palish blue, but you take a better look at it, it's more the fact that the skin was left to rot. And they are all agitated, hostile, but not to you, but rather towards each other. Each of them taking a bite or a snap at each other. And you hear their voices loud and clear, but all 5 of them are arguing, fighting for dominance.
Why do you fight each other when there's a singular man who put you in there? 5 ancient dragons bested by a human, destined to what, bicker with each other? I used to think better of my elders.
The female, the second female ahead that's closest to you, this one turns and hisses at you. Silence, Blue. This is a personal matter of who the fault of this matter. This torture.
Well, then I guess you don't want any help getting out.
Roll me you know what, roll me a persuasion at advantage on that one. Because you just said a very particular keyword that they want.
$14?
One, two, three. Is that number 3? Well, the 3 on the top, the 3 you can only surmise are males from the way they sound deeper with their hissing and growls. The one that spoke to you before and the one that you're currently speaking to have a laser focus on tension on you. You speak of freedom, how our souls been...
Armor you were piloting or being a fucking power source for has recently fallen to my blades. There's a wizard on the outside, fiddling around with the rune. You have a choice. You can destroy the rune. You'll have a chance to go to whatever plane you wish. But it'll take a hardiness of spirit that I kind of look at the very damaged one. Don't believe all of you have.
You mock us, the center one, the one that you just basically called out, roars at you, even though, as it does so, will Tyrion feel pity for a disembodied head that looks like it's almost a skull?
Tyranid and pity don't really go well together at all.
That's all I'm asking.
Especially for dragons.
You see some of the, even though it's mostly ectoplasm, you do see some of it fall into the fires below, which, you know, it is blue.
I know, this is a stupid question because I am a dex fighter, but how heavy does this thing look? Do I think I might be able to tip it past its tipping point towards the forge?
You can certainly try. I will give you
All
that.
right. I'm gonna guess athletics.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Tyranid. 8.
Double
Two
eights,
eights.
yeah. As you try hard to push this, and try as you might, you hear the 5 heads speak almost simultaneously. A futile effort. Do you not think that any one of us had not tried to break the forge? That is simply a reminder, a mockery reminder of our current fate. As the ones on the very top are talking to you, as they also trade bites with their other 3 in between.
How far is the gap?
You can make the jump.
Cinder's gonna call me an idiot.
As you get there, I
I'm gonna
want
draw
you,
my blades.
as you attempt to draw your blades, they're not there.
God damn it. Alright. What to do?
I do need you to make me a Constitution saving throw again. 10. As you get close to this, it feels very hot. Unbearably so. In fact, you might consider a red dragon's fire breath a bit more comfortable. And I will give this to you. You feel a bit of your own inner self, or rather, you feel like you're being burned from within.
Oh, I don't have much of that left. This is probably stupid. I'm going to try to channel the primal energy.
Okay. This is going to be different now. So, may I ask, how are you going to channel this primal energy?
As I've seen Overina do a lot, Tyranid opens his mouth and tries to consume what he can.
I see. Okay. I need you to make me... I'll give you the choice. Either a straight strength roll or constitution roll.
Alright. I'm using my inspiration.
Okay.
Got better.
Well, that makes sense. Alright. So as you do this, you literally hear all 5 of them protesting. Some of them screaming in Draconic as you recognize the tongue of your kin. What are you doing? No, stop this. You fool. Are you trying to torture us further? This is not right. And as you are taking in a deep breath, the one in the center, since he rolled shit for his constitution, begins to fade almost into non-existence. He is barely there. And I'm just going to shrink his image, his token.
Shit.
And these two also get a little bit smaller. The other
Oh,
two...
shit. That didn't work. Sorry.
Also, you feel very invigorated, almost surprisingly a little bit stronger, whole, full.
Oh, that's weird. I was a wizard. I threw spells at it. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Are any of you going to actually try to help me?
What exactly is your wizard self doing?
I don't know. Magic?
The one that growls at you is the one here, which I'm just gonna make a roll for her to see if she remembers who she is still. Of course she does. Alright. I'm just laughing at what Syndra's doing.
Yeah, I know, me too.
So,
I feel so fucking stupid.
the one that spoke to you...
Spider-Man gonna do in a magic forge with no weapons.
So the one that speaks to you first, was the one who spoke to you first, is Mornaroth, the one... Actually, you can roll me a history advantage, because you would know from your dear mom
That sounds
teaching you
familiar.
history. Yes. That's good enough.
18.
You remember this particular green dragon goes by a nickname of the Moor Dragon, and was once a high priestess of Shar.
Oh, good.
As for the briefest of moments, you can see that some lucidity comes to its eyes. You'll have to break the runes, since you now have a physical form. If not... She kind of pauses, almost as if hesitant. You would have to follow the path of devouring all of us. As she says this, the other four start showing their teeth. And she adds, and you should know, even if we are tattered to this point, we will not so easily give up our remnants.
Well, I'm going to try the runes first, then.
Yeah, you can move freely, so don't have to go too crazy about it.
Hey, Miser,
Yes.
I have a belt. Are there hand grenades still on it?
Roll me a D100 now, since you did consume some of their essence.
58.
Okay, so...
Right in the middle today.
Yep. So, you take a look. You don't have the grenades, but you do have something that was not on you before. It looks like a chisel.
Where the fuck? Alright. Ting, 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 ting.
Alright, I need a dexterity and another D100 as you are... Actually, give me a second. 1, 2... 3, 4. Okay, I need 7 D100s as you're doing this.
Okay, so here's the dexterity.
Okay.
And here's gonna be 5.
Now we'll lower the D100 DC a bit.
6, 7. 300 and
Okay.
7.
Hold on, I'm just checking which ones you just cracked. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so as you destroy 4 of them, I need I'll give you the choice. You can do 1 full Constitution saving throw, or 4 individual ones.
Let's do 4.
Okay.
Oh, saving throws. Shit.
Yes. There goes that nat 20.
So
So
add
you say-
4 to the other
Yeah.
one. So it's a 21, a crit, a 10, and a 17.
Alright, so only on the 3rd one you failed. So you'll take this amount.
Okay.
The other 3 you did not take damage. As you take this in psychic damage. So I believe you're able to resist
What?
some of that.
I think I've resisted to that.
Yes, and Syndra, you suddenly notice that Tyrannon's nose is bleeding.
Well, there goes the narcolepsy idea.
There it
Definitely having aneurysms.
is.
Shit.
Yes, also, Syndra, since it's gonna be hard to do 2 sides of the map thing, you may roll me investigation, arcana, or religion. You have you have a suspicion that Tyrannon is not home in his body. As you take a good look, and the armor looks a little duller. You're very certain that Tyrannon's soul is inside the armor.
Cinder's just kind of sitting there like, well, I hope he can get out, because shit, that's stupid.
Yes, and currently, Yabala has just taken Oberina and Arizel to help with their or at least their condition with the champions as champions, or rather, Arizel the champion and Oberina being a vessel.
False witness.
Yes,
Horrible parasite.
pretty much. And Zarambol has just went to take care of the damage control along with Gur. But, yeah. Resuming back to Tyrannon's soul torture, which is why I mentioned you don't have your weapons, even though that's supposed to be the...
Yeah.
So, you managed to destroy 4 of the 7 runes. You wish to try again.
Okay. Oh, fuck. Gah.
So close, I can smell freedom. The top
Better
one.
help me kill Ed when you're out of here. $11 for the dex. How many d20 am I rolling?
You can only roll 1 right now.
D100.
Mm-hmm.
65.
You fire at this thing, it does not work.
Shit.
Also,
20.
you manage to avoid, despite being a little exhausted, you manage to avoid a sudden surge of energy coming from the runes.
Fucking hell. Stupid fucking wizards. I'll kill them all. Beside the one I like.
Cinder out there just suddenly is like, I have a feeling to slap him. He's not in his body, he's not gonna feel it.
Okay, so
You'll feel it when it wakes up. So where's my G card?
you can roll me 2d100.
Oh, darn it. 152.
Alright. Let me just check this one here. So you managed to crack the second one now. However, the other one you did not. And that was the one that caused you to do your saving throw. The damage seems to be getting more intense as this time, that's why I was rolling the D10, it's not psychic damage that invades you. Now is tendrils of necrotic damage. And you still have your magic's detect magic up, Syndra?
Probably.
Okay, because you definitely sense a surge of necrotic magic from the armor. And on Tyrannin now.
Oh. It's trying to kill him.
Oh, he's doing something.
Is there anything happening to the runes inside the armor?
They are flickering.
Come on, Tyrannin, you fucking spicy bastard. 16?
You get to roll 1d100.
Yeah. 80.
You just met the cracking point on that one.
Yeah.
So there's only one more left. And you just dodge an explosion.
Shit. Alright. Fuck. I'll never make fun of Mason again.
Only one left. Only one left. One left!
Just stop yelling at me!
Just one left. You can almost... Well, you can literally taste their hunger for freedom.
That distracts him, apparently.
Yes, it does.
Am I rolling a con?
Yeah, just roll the con, because you missed, you just collided into that. Okay. You managed to avoid getting hit by a burst of light.
Come on! Yeah!
Okay.
Fuck!
Roll the 2d100. Constitution saving throw as you crack this thing wide open.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, because this one's going to be a lot more intense as you're taking Radiant.
22!
And, as we move you back to the waking world, Syndra, you notice that the armor, or rather the Rune of Life, flares as if desperately trying to grasp a bit of life. I'm just checking a few things. Ooh, okay. I will get to those rolls in a second. But Tyrannin, as you break this rune and you hit by this shearing amount of burning light, you feel like you're being pulled forward. And
No.
of air. And while you're at it, can you roll me a perception?
Curse.
At advantage.
Yeah, that'll help.
This is being whispered to your ear.
Crit.
You hear from the one of the voices, one of the heads of the one of the green dragons. You're not sure which one, because it sounds like they're all speaking at once, but they do say, "We are reluctant, but we are thankful." some of our power for you and the other. And Sindra, how close are you to that armor at this moment?
Well, seeing its flare, I probably stepped the fuck back, to be honest.
Okay, so you don't have to worry about it then. As Tyrion, you take a breath because you're now back in your body.
Ow!
And Sindra, you see the signal, the sigil, the rune on his forehead, light up a very notable green briefly. And the armor that was once there shudders and falls in upon itself. And you see
Like it disintegrates, or
it just, think of it being heavily rusted. And
I
Tyrion,
did it.
and well, I'm gonna delete that sheet now because no longer needed, as the armor is now no longer in existence. It's just a rusty pile of rust. But Sindra, you see that Tyrion, his scale colors, at least from his head part, starts to have some green accents to them.
Oh, thank God I actually haven't colored him yet.
Mostly around the eyes and mouth. To which I'm just going to go to Tyrion's sheet.
Oh no. Well, while you do that, Tyrion's just gonna like put his hands on the ground, do like a push-up, kind of fail at it, grab onto the railing, and hoist himself up. That was not what I was expecting.
did you just eat them?
A little bit. But then, that's the first thing I tried. So there was this big fucking skull forge thing with the runes of life and death carved around it, and somehow I got a chisel, so I stabbed them.
The dragons or the runes?
I really thought about the dragons because they were all assholes, but I did the runes because I'm pretty sure they could have still fought me, and I just killed a lot of people, and I wasn't feeling great. Thought about it. Didn't have any weapons on me besides the chisel. Oh, like, if I ever have the idea to fucking go inside another thing's head, you have permission to hit me.
I don't know, it seems like you got your ass kicked well enough by your own.
Yeah. I think it worked.
Well, considering the armor doesn't exist anymore. But you do look a bit green around the face.
What?
Literally motions towards his face. Do you need a mirror?
And Tyrion, you feel a little bit stronger, more healthier, and it's a bit tight in your armor. Also, if you look at your character sheet, look at the very bottom.
Yeah, I saw that. Huh. Okay. have to resize my armor. I don't know why, but I think I put on a few pounds.
Well, that's a different story.
Yeah. Sindra, I'll give this to you, but Tyrion does look a little bit bigger.
Did I get taller?
Yes.
Did you actually change my height?
Not yet.
Okay.
I was waiting for you to finish looking at your page, and I was going to change your height.
There's a question, actually. How much taller did he get?
Not much.
But it's, like, noticeable?
3 inches, yes.
Fuck.
You gained another 3 inches, yes. That's why I was rolling those. That's why I rolled that D10 as well.
I could have grown almost an entire foot.
Probably, yeah.
Well, this makes it interesting, too. I think we just need to find you more dragons to feed. You.
Could we try to find... When we get to the blue armor, I'll make that decision.
Now, come on now. Think about it. If you eat enough of the other ones... She kind of steps up to him. You might become the new Asgaroth. Well, then you could
That
just go
sounds
eat
like a
his
lot
corpse.
of work.
Well, you could go eat his corpse. I mean,
I'm not gonna go eat dirt. He just points at the ground below us.
I don't know. You just ate a green dragon.
I tried to eat the fire that was in the forge, which was apparently also them, so you're not wrong. But the fire was blue, so I kind of thought, alright, I made a lot of bad choices while I was in there.
Sindra, can you roll me Arcana or Religion as he mentions blue fire? It sounds oddly familiar, but you're not sure why. It takes you a moment to pause.
That moment of pause is shifted back to not pausing.
It almost
That moment
sounds...
when you fuck with your own timeline.
It almost sounds like he's talking about Soulfire.
Well, the spell fire. That could be soul fire. I mean, they say that the fire inside of a soul or a hellfire engine burns clear.
Right. Yeah, I understand it totally. Know what you're talking about.
You don't understand a damn thing I say, do you?
Not a word.
You're reading their souls, Tyrion.
How bad is that when I only have half a one? Is that why he just gestures to his face because he still hasn't seen it? This happened, you think?
Cinder kind of steps up. Roll, you check something. If I've come to the conclusion of things, Tyrion, creatures like you and I, with draconic bloods, no matter how diluted it has become, in this domain, there's a bit of question about the difference between us and a regular primal. I think you could just continue to consume them. I don't think it's a problem. It might be. I'm not
You're
sure.
not from here, so the cycle's not really being fucked up with, I guess, so fuck it.
That's not entirely true, to be honest. Just because I witnessed another version of myself out there doesn't mean shit, to be honest.
Oh, he points at the rusted pile. Oh, them. They weren't from here. So, you remember Yabala saying the whole thing about the cycle being talked with?
Yes.
Isn't that only for things from here?
No. I don't think so. I think there's still an Ivarion that's here. And that's the same one that's there, because draconic souls are different than others. Or have you not known that?
Oh, I knew that.
Because that's why dragons have to go through a very lich process to become a lich, which is oddly somewhat easier than others. Because draconic souls don't work the same way as other creatures. They don't have to be fed, usually. Whereas other creatures, such as humans or elves, when they are liches, they have to continuously feed souls into their phylactery to maintain their existence. Doesn't necessarily give them any knowledge or anything.
Tyrannin, you recall that when you pulled in a little bit of that forge, or actually even before that, they were deteriorated and mostly just floating heads.
That kind of makes sense. A lot of... I believe... Wow, my brain is shutting down. Probably the necrosis. Ed was using them as a fuel source.
Oh.
When I ate the fire, they all got real angry.
Well, that's an interesting concept.
The thing was, one of them was about to be no more. I nearly killed him when I just did my small amount.
How bad was he?
You told me you've seen your grandfather before, right?
Well, more a couple times, yes.
Like that, but not powerful.
I see.
Like he got in a fight with a horde of him, and he points it. Oh fuck, what is their Grog's name? Kermit. Like 30 of him, just nothing left on the inside.
Oh, I see. Interesting. Well, in that case, that explains a lot about why they're deteriorating and why they're controllable. Of course, it was probably an easy thing to do with the green one. Put a bunch of them in, like you, the arrogance and the problems keeps you all from focusing and standing against them at the same time.
No fuck, where's that sheet? Probably in the dead people, right? Trying to find that dragon visor.
Oh, it's in this Lost Souls. It's actually in the NPCs.
So he's not in the, she's not in the afterlife?
No, she's not in the
Fallen?
app. Not yet. I haven't moved the token, but it's in the NPCs. This one you're referring to.
I got her. He had a very interesting one. I'm sure you've heard of her. Morgana or a Gooth.
Yeah, I know. She has a weird name.
The Moor Dragon.
Syndra, as far as you know, with that A intelligence roll you got there, dragons have weird names.
I guess I should have rolled history.
You can roll it, I'll give it to you.
Same, but yeah.
You vaguely remember...
He did say the Moor Dragon. He did give the nickname.
Yes. But even then, it's a little bit obscure because how old that dragon was, actually. As far as you can recall, there was a dragon, or at least with the nickname the Moor Dragon, but it was a few centuries ago when it was last heard of. It predates, well, quite possibly even your mother and father's lifespans.
I'll ask about them next time I talk to Grandfather. But they were a bit of a legend.
Yes, the priestess of Shaw, if I remember correctly.
Oh no, that's interesting.
Who's Shaw?
You can roll the religion.
This is more for player knowledge, because I'm sure Tyr that lives in the world probably knows about the gods, but here's the religion check. 2 now ones.
I'm sure a practitioner of magic like Sindragals would know who Shar is, considering her counterpart was.
I actually have to look up who Shar was.
Okay, so she is one of the, she is the counterpart of Saloon, and she's also the creator of the Shadow Weave.
Okay,
the counterpart of the Weave of Mistral. But she was mostly known as the Mistress of the Night.
Cinder, why do you have that look? I hate it when you get that look.
Right, the Nightbringer. Interesting.
The more you keep talking, the more I really feel like I should have eaten them.
Oh. Probably. I mean, it was a green dragon. I mean, come on now. But, you know, I don't always consider people eating junk food.
Might have made me sick.
Let me put it this way. Do you know who Mistra is?
That you do.
Got it. It's literally hovering the religion. The magic god, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Shar is the evil version.
Fantastic.
She is one of the triad. There's Shar, Salune, and Mistra. I'm gonna keep calling. I'm gonna get those names mixed up a little bit. Damn it, Mistra. But yes, they're the trio.
Yes. Well, that creates an interesting concept problem throughout the universe. But it does make more sense that Ed would go after a magically inclined dragon.
Especially when they're dealing with what, the other half? I thought all magic came from the one sheet.
Wait.
Blanket.
Cinder's gonna pull out her copy of the Cult of the Dragon book and go through. Was she one of the, or was the Moor Dragon one of the ones that they thought about for Lichdom?
No. I can give it to you right now. It was not. However,
That's interesting.
since you are going through that book, roll me a D100.
That's a 95.
Almost. So, you look into it, and there's a very, very small little note or excerpt. The particular dragon, Bornaroth, was known as a grand priestess of Shar, and at one point attempted to steal control of the weave or the shadow weave of Shar, and she punished said dragon for the attempt of betrayal.
Does it say how she was punished?
It does not.
Probably made her look real stupid. Just like an eel, but with no fins. Just like a long tube with eyes and a snout.
That's called a worm, Tiernan. But anyway.
That part, at least the
Oh, what?
details, I was gonna say, the details of her punishment, that is strangely omitted.
Why was that not here? Unless... Oh, dear. Oh, bloody hell. Oh.
It makes me more nervous that you're nervous. You never get nervous. You looked at your book, you got real nervous. I'm waiting for an explanation here.
Tiernan. She looks at Tiernan very carefully, and then she looks over at our grung friend and the chicken sitting on top of him.
Yes?
Tiernan. I have a very bad thought about what's going on, and I really am not sure how it's going. Because there's an awful lot of creatures that have been punished by, well, either very capable wizards, gods, in this area. Like Popeye.
Are we in
What?
prison?
We're in a tomb.
Well, we knew that.
That could be both, I suppose. But I had an even worse thought. One that actually really bothers me, to be honest.
Yes.
I'm seeing a strange recurring pattern amongst things.
Chickens.
No.
Okay,
I originally
so-
thought that we were dealing with Casus. Someone who decided to challenge the gods. Then take their power and fucked it up. And nearly completely destroyed the universe with it. Other than, any good wizard, especially a wizard god, would probably have, a million fail-safes in mind. Which she did, thankfully. He, at the time, I believe. That being said, how do I put this? I'm a little bit concerned about the original foreteller of the legends that go into this book. You see, he wasn't wrong in his prophecy. But it wasn't necessarily that he was right, either. You see, Samasta believed that the world would be ruled by Dracoliches. Well, he wasn't wrong. He just didn't understand that it would be one Dracolich capable of ruling and running the world from, well, the shadows. Namely, my great-grandfather. But you see, here's the other problem with that. The Master also at one time had the Spellfire, and tried to take it and control it, and got in the way of Mistra's Chosen. Which, even though he tried to make his phylactery a literal comet, like a dumbass, I mean, granted, it was an idea, but then his body got destroyed to be just floating in space or something, right?
Yes.
Right, you don't know shit about privileges, right? Anyway, it seems that we keep coming across situations where gods and wizards are intersecting a lot. And seems like there's a lot of bullshit going on. Because, I mean, if she was punished in a wizarding way, it would be to turn them into something completely useless. Like that thing. And she points over at Popeye. Or not Popeye, at the other chicken. Bozamar.
You see Popeye pop her head out.
Let's be honest, you're half the wizard you used to be.
Ah! Kind of like slight electricity energy coming from the eyes, but then just retreats back into the pouch, into the backpack.
As I said, half. Still a powerful and formidable creature, dude.
Dude, it looks at the fucking gigantic titan missing its head. Yeah, she did that. That was new. Okay, so we're a magic god prison, jail, tomb.
Maybe? I don't think we are, to be honest, because that just seems weird, but I do think Ed has been collecting creatures like that, because
That makes more
why
sense.
would they be here? I mean, why would she motions at Bozamar? Why of all the places in the universe? Unless Ed was intending to make a brass fucking armor and just realized, oh, brass is a weak-ass metal, why the fuck would I do that?
And they talk a lot.
I don't think that's a big thing. Let's be honest, that thing as an armor, from what you've told me, would have been so easy to control.
Mark?
You know, it's true.
Ah. Looks very dejected as he's slurping down a very large earthworm.
I mean, you're the one who went crazy with illusions of godhood. So,
Also, Tyrion and Syndra, you would also know that most brass dragons tend to be, well,
Lovers, not fighters.
no, although so they also tend to take the preferences of bards. And bronze, because it was actually Bozamar's particular true class was a bronze, because he was known as the Bronze Tyrant.
oh.
Yeah, I had to step in for that part. The bronze tend to lean more towards sorcerer abilities.
Oh, great, all magic.
Well, he did try to, you know.
So, I mean, I mean, with collecting all of these punished magical entities, he'd have an easy way to replenish his armor sources. Or if he's just keeping them on reserve while he's making the next one. But for some reason, we keep collecting them.
Or they already have what he wanted from them, like yourself. Which does create an interesting problem, actually, now that I think about it. If they're degrading Tyrion, then what's happening to you?
That's been something I've been thinking about for a while. I'm
Also,
not sure.
with that line of thought, Tyrion, or at least with the questioning and investigation you two are doing, can you roll me a history
Sure!
at advantage? Because this is definitely related to part of your own life story, your background.
12!
You vaguely remember that. Why did Ed come after you in the first place?
He didn't even need me. He needed the kind of looks around, sees that he's just surrounded by fucking corpses. He'll do the mental link to Syndra. These are the ruby. Oh, the gem.
I still haven't figured out how that goes into things unless it's actually got an attachment to Asperoth. She sends back. Wait. Oh. Do you remember when we were in the dream? The last one.
You're talking about the heart?
The heart with a giant ruby around it.
It wasn't that big when I had it.
Tiernan, you're a dragon. What is wealth?
More stuff.
It's power. A diamond can be used to bring someone back to life, and why is that?
Because it's shiny. I don't know. It's worth a lot of money.
Because gold and diamonds are the two hardest things to make, even for mages. I can't just make a diamond that's going to do what that does, alright?
Oh. You'll get there.
No. I mean, as in nobody has.
Oh.
You have to grow them.
Tiernan, I'll give this to you. But do you remember what your mother had mentioned about the Eye of Asgaroth?
Keep it secret, keep it safe.
There was something else when you asked her about it. I know it's been a while, so I'll have you roll.
No. No. I just scrolled through all my notes. I have the only thing I had for that gem was it was in a scorpion statue, and it took it.
Okay. So I will rephrase what she said, but it had a supposed tiniest fraction of Asgaroth's true essence.
About the Asgaroth link, I can confirm that 100%. Just the smallest fraction, but probably feeding it other pieces of him made it larger. Maybe?
Well, combining them together should cause a reaction. So, likely, you joining it to the body would be doing something like that.
Didn't Oberina eat some of it?
She tried to.
What kind of fucking concoction is she making in her stomach?
I don't know. Luckily, it hasn't had any gas, because I think it would kill us all.
Popeye's head pops out again. Just goes, ah!
I already used my mind reading again. No, wait, you blocked that anyway. You're very smart and have a lot of information. Why don't you let me talk to you? You racist.
Popeye kind of just rolls the eyes. Then nods. Eventually binge and Oricanos arrive. Kermit, looking pretty worn out, just sitting there drinking alongside Mock and the brother Talk. They are drinking a lot of excessive alcohol.
Okay, honest, you have a bit of a... He just gestures to his chin where some of the foam is still there because he's going fucking nuts.
Yes, sir. And kind of just wipes it off with his clawed hand and shakes it over there. We are missing one, and the horned one disappeared.
Yeah.
Did I pass out when they walked away?
Hmm?
I was like, did I pass out before they walked away?
No, this was during the fight when the Horned Knight grabbed
Ah!
Mavis and teleported.
I thought
Yes.
he was talking about Arizel.
Mavis was taken from us. But I don't think it's going to matter. Without the book, it doesn't really do much. But I think it'll be back.
She doesn't have it anymore?
No, she doesn't.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah, I
It's
think that
safe,
probably
right?
this is the... I don't know, how much do you trust Everina?
Fuck. Gonna write a song in it.
I mean, Ari's in this. If something happens, you know. I'll just put it this way: I trust Ari to cut her throat if it really came down to it. So I'm not worried.
Yes. Also, Finch, did I hear that you pushed 3 knights that are, what, 3 feet taller than you out of the hut?
I think so. He looks very uncertain of himself. The white one, the old lady dragon lizard woman.
Yes.
I don't know if she's I don't know what she is, sir. But she... You can see for a brief moment that Binge looks very uncertain as to how to express it. And then he just goes... See, she seemed to know they were coming and told me to stand right there. They were trying to force their way through, and she touched my back. And somehow I felt really strong and managed to push them.
I mean, from my experience with her, she gave you just a taste of your potential. You keep working as hard as you are, you'll get there.
Yeah, you can see Binge looks a little depressed. She said I would not be the Knight of the Order that I wanted to be.
Oh, you'll soon make your way to be my head knight. Is that a problem?
No, it's just... He says I won't get the full armor of at least from my knighthood. Said something about Blessing of Earth. I mean...
Plus, you were the one who did all that stuff. You know, I mean, we're not from your world, so...
She just said that if I am to progress or be better, I must find something called the Earth Seal. But I don't know of any... is that an animal? I asked. I was asking, but then those knights showed up. And now I can't ask her again because she just took the other 2 in the hut, and I can't open the hut.
Ben, she won't tell you. We'll have to figure that out on our own. That's part of her ways.
Magic is weird. I'm sorry.
Magic is weird.
You gotta apologize to Syndra.
You don't have to apologize to me, I fully understand.
But yeah, I felt
That being said,
really strong for a moment.
that's good.
Also, Tyrion and Syndra, you can see that on Binja's shield, there is a very notable big scorch mark on it.
The hell is that from?
Oh, when the horned one, the knight with the horns hit me with that funny sword of hers. I think it's a girl. I
Yes.
think. For someone as short as me, hit really hard, and I almost felt like she was trying to melt me. Like, it got really hot.
Fire, like the only thing I'm not resistant to. Fantastic. Why is it always fire?
Because it's easy to use.
Oh. Right, so fire is the easiest, but at the top of the wizard thing is spell fire. But
Spellfire is a bit different, yeah.
all right.
To put it in a perspective for you, Spellfire is the ability to rewrite the weave as needed.
That sounds awful.
It is.
So here's another question.
That's why it's given to so many.
Another thing too. Tyrion, when you broke the golem sphere of the Emerald Knight, you do recall that there was a voice talking to you, and it did not belong to Ed or anybody that you recognize.
Right. I totally wrote down what it said.
Do you need a refresher or?
What? No, I did not. I need a refresher, please. Thank you.
Okay, so it did mention it didn't give you its name, but it did comment about the world that you, or the reality you exist in, will be remade in its image.
Oh, right, Syndra, by the way. When I broke the orb, something very sinister was talking to me, and it wasn't anyone I've heard before.
Also,
Okay.
I will add one more
It
thing.
didn't sound like the Titan at the end, did it?
No, but it did give you one parting sentence that it did say, your friend Adaria says otherwise. When you made a comment to it.
Was myself to it, so I called it a name and made fun of it, and it brought up Adaria and said that the world we now reside in will be remade in its image. So it's something at the end of existence that's not null or the end type.
That would be it, because that would be his intention.
It didn't sound like him either. Unless his voice changes down the road.
Then Ed's being pulled, or his puppet being played, I would imagine. Or it's something else.
There are a lot of irons in this fire.
I mean, it didn't sound like me, right?
No,
Good.
like no voice I've ever heard before.
Despite
Oh, Miser, real quick.
Yes.
Syndra would eventually, over time, probably try to, unless Tyrion wanted to talk to each single one of them, she would go through and start destroying the runes.
Okay, so
I can only do detect thoughts once.
yeah, So the other thing too, which was my fault for forgetting a little bit, but Tyranid, it did mention Far Realm, where it is from.
It's from somewhere called a Far Realm.
Oh, I feel like I got it.
The best
Why
you,
do I taste yellow?
the best you can think of, Syndra, is that is the theory or the hypothesis of the reality beyond your current existing universe, beyond the crystal spheres, and possibly, well, not confirmed, beyond the astral plane, the astral sea. As-
Theoretically, that is a place far beyond anything we will ever know. Probably where Asgaroth and Null came from. It's beyond the spheres, it's beyond the astral sea. Nobody's been there and back, as far as anyone returning to talk about it. Sorry, Miser, what were you saying?
Now, going back onto the armors, there were a total of 29 Thorn armors, the 2 Pyre armor, and 1 remaining Mirror armor because the other one got shattered by Binge sitting on it. So, I will need... I'm just thinking of it. Be a total of 32, so... Actually, no, scratch.
Unless, wait, did you say that they could survive by being devoured as well?
No. Them being devoured is, well, whatever remnants are left are... Actually, how are you dispelling them? Dispel magic, or are you feeding them to Nicholas? Is what I should ask. Because he did offer you could eat them too. Last session.
I was asking if Tyranid said that to her.
Ah.
Oh, no, Tyranid definitely said that they looked like they were being destroyed much faster when I tried to eat them.
No, oh, right. But you didn't tell me that they had given you the either or of either destroy the ruins or eat us.
Yeah, oh, well, there were 2 options. Destroy them and free them from the pain, or break the ruins and break them free.
Not we know that the weak ones won't survive.
Fighting 5 ancient dragons, even though they were diminished, seemed like a bad idea at the time.
No, I'm trying to decide about the rest of these.
You want me to eat them?
No. Actually, I need to roll.
You do hear Nicholas, the book, offer its 2 cents. If you wish, I could relieve them of their suffering.
Yeah, if we had the ability to talk to each one, that would be a different subject. I have an idea. We'll need to gather them all in one place.
Tyranid just turns around at the pile of bodies. Done.
Yeah, they're already piled up. Just to give context, they're all at the ground floor.
Yeah, she'll go down there to the pile. Guess it's time for me to do this stupid thing.
Why are my ribs bruised? You're poking me.
What? I don't have a poking stick. What are you talking about?
Throws it over his shoulder.
No, it's like in a wand holder. On our hip. Tyrannin, do you know anything about stabilizing someone medically? Actually, I have a better idea.
I have a potion.
So,
I can jam this
You
bug in
watch.
your mouth.
well, actually, she's like, I want to try something. And you watch as she's going to use one of her slots. Yep. Did not mean to double click that.
Not a problem. So what you're bringing up?
She, you watch as she begins to cast. You've seen her cast the weird reconstitution thing, like raw magic healing, and as she gets done, it just condenses down into a magenta-colored bead. Don't let me die. She puts it in your hand.
Do I eat this?
This is so that we don't have to waste a potion or other things. Oh, this is gonna suck.
So-
Look, I don't know what to do with it. Do I just throw it at you, or?
Yeah, just kind of push it into my chest, probably. That'd probably be the... Or the gaping wound. I'm not sure about that, to be honest with you.
Wherever you're bleeding, I'll put it there.
You see her face go for a moment, and then she's like about to say something. You wouldn't understand if I said that. Anyway, this is probably the dumbest fucking thing I'm ever going to do in my life. As she pulls out her good dagger, her dagger she's had for a long time, and, oh, see how much she hesitates. Not at all. That's great. She's going to jam that into her throat.
Yeah.
So explain to me, what are you planning to do with this?
She is full tilting to death. Like, death, notice me, bitch.
Oh.
Not one of those weird dream ones. Like, she is full on, like, death, we need to have a fucking talk.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay, okay. That. Okay. Ooh, 40. Right. Roll me a d20, Syndra. 10.
Right in the middle.
Okay,
I did
hold on.
that twice today. I rolled a 15, you rolled a 10.
Okay, okay. So Syndra. As you perform what one could say your own suicide, let me find a certain map. Okay, there it is. Oh, and I did not drag the player thing.
Ah, the padded room where you belong.
Was this just the worst cubicle ever?
The worst cubicle ever. Let's go with that.
Alright, Tyrion in his fucking full panic. He doesn't know when he's supposed to jam the feet in.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Sometime around then the blood stops spurting, or is about to stop spurting.
Yeah, so... Syndra. As you literally slam that knife into yourself and committed your suicide act, your eyes blink and you find yourself in a very familiar room. And it is strangely empty, but ironically, in your hand is the book Nicholas. And you do hear the comment as the book speaks. Quite the drastic measure.
Well, now I need to determine if it's because you can pass through different dimensions because of the Tower of the Death Room, or if I've just been holding a book that's death.
I can assure you I am not death. There's like a pause, but it's more of a, how do I confirm myself? Although if it is the runes that are inscribed within me, at least some variant forms of them, then it is most likely the case. I cannot really ascertain a guarantee for you at this moment.
That's fine. Death. No.
There is silence.
One of you here.
And now I get to roll this one now. Yay, I get to play with this one now. Where are you? I had your... There you are. You hear a clapping noise. Oh, I'm surprised we would actually encounter each other again. At least you encountering this variant of me.
Indeed, Black Rose. That is quite an interesting thing. But I assume that the plane I'm on, it's not entirely unexpected.
Perhaps not. Still. It is interesting that you performed this particular action. And how you landed up here and how I ended up getting dragged into this when I'm supposed to be handling certain other parts of the multiverse.
I have a pile of Ed's armors that we defeated. Tynan was able to free the dragons from the green armor. But I want to make sure that the souls from these armors survive. Oh,
My. You are full of surprises. Well, to this variant form of me, yes, you are full of surprises. You wish for them to return to the wheel of death, life, rebirth, the whole reincarnation, that they don't be expunged for nothing.
I don't know. Something deep inside me says everything's precious because it's part of the Horde. And the Horde must be protected.
For a skeleton, this thing seems to have a very jovial expression. Very well. I will see to their souls. If you wish to safely exclude them out of their suffocating purgatory. He looks, or rather gestures, a bony hand to your book. Have your book inscribe the rune of true death.
Sindra looks at Nicholas.
Or rather, the rune of souls is what it was originally. The young lady known as Miss Defoe attempted to use its power one time, though her phylactery, let us just say, was, well, Nicholas, would you mind telling your new owner about the rune? And, by the way, Miss Gallows, I do applaud your efforts. However, as one who is death, please try not to tempt it too many times when you still have a job to do for my superior variants.
Well, always have a failsafe. I just hope he didn't fuck it up.
Ah, worry not. And Tyrion,
Yeah?
you suddenly hear a voice in your head, and it says, "Do it."
I do it.
Sindra,
Mm-hmm.
you suddenly cough up a breath of fresh air.
What the fuck was that?
A calculated risk. She kind of rubs
Guess
the,
you're good at math.
the hole in her neck that's like slowly like.
Oh, it's not there anymore. It's gone. There is no
Oh
hole.
yeah, I mean it's with the spell, but it's like she's rubbing the spot.
But Nicholas,
You keep going into armors and stupid shit, so. Nicholas, if you would please.
it is a bit of a tough rune to inscribe, as it does require bits of your strength applied to it. But yes, as that thing was talking to me, my Master Defoe attempted to harness this rune's power. The problem was that she tried to use it during her time of lichdom, when she was still using a phylactery. Yet, for some reason, only using it once, she became distraught, very melancholy, and she began to use the other runes and their abilities to not only remove her lichdom, but to become something more than her human flesh or her cage. It will require some of your actual life force to inscribe the rune of souls, but as it seems like Nicholas is sizing you up. It would only take about a fraction, perhaps 1/3 of your current life force. Of course, you can regain it after a amount of rest, but it shouldn't be too debilitating. And mechanics of this, which I have not written it out, or rather, I kept it in the special notes. To inscribe this particular rune, you will have to deduct your maximum health by 1 point each inscription. And since there is a total of... Blast of goddamn sirens. There is a total of 32 armors there. You'll be reducing your health by that much for each of their inscriptions.
But it returns after a long rest?
Yes.
Alright.
The 2 mirror ones can't be inscribed because they've been grinded into powder. So, you don't have to worry about those 2.
So yeah, we'll get to work on that.
So, Syndra, I'll have you just do 1 Constitution saving throw for this. And you pass, as each time you inscribe this rune, you feel a bit of yourself being pulled apart. You do feel the pain, but the first 2 or 3 were surprising, as Nicholas did warn you to inscribe this rune, you must give a bit of your life force. But as each time you do this, it becomes a little bit more easier, and you do see the souls that were trapped, each soul being trapped inside these armors, especially the really large ones, slowly begin to come out of it. Some tattered, some looking almost like a skeleton, but you recognize the majority of these souls are human, or humanoid to some degree. Heck, some of them seem to have goblins and kobolds and elves, dwarves. There was literally no discrimination of it. In fact, when you take a better look at the elf souls, they're actually more half-elves.
And
Yeah.
I think every soul deserves to not be prisoner. But the things I'm going to do to Ed's soul will never amount to what these people suffer.
I will also give this. Tyrion, you may roll me a perception, and... Actually, Tyrion, are you there with Syndra as she's doing this?
Yeah. I didn't leave. I couldn't
Okay.
leave my wizard down the bottom floor without protection.
So, you see the same things too. And you both realize that it's not just a one-to-one soul for each armor. In fact, as you do this, the armor, the metal that was used to construct these things also begin to crumple, rust away. And more tattered souls, some very indistinguishable because of how ruined they look. But yet they all, well, they don't express it easily, but you do, both of you feel the sense of gratitude as, congratulations, you freed their souls. And you may roll me a perception, both of you. It makes sense. You guys are
Yeah, Cinder
tired.
looks like shit.
Yeah. But you see the
I
souls.
looks like staring at my reflection of my sword.
Tyrion, you got green accents on the eyes, and most of your lower jaw is now a strange oceanic green.
What the fuck? Mom's gonna be so pissed.
But you do see all the souls drift upward into the skies. And you realize that nighttime is slowly coming.
This has been one hell of a day.
I think by the end of this tune, your mother's going to be impressed how much you look like the creator. And my mother won't give a shit because she's dead.
Right. I mean, you're not wrong. I assume if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm gonna have every piece of chromatic dragon in me. Did you notice that he's only been using chromatics?
Yes.
Are we just easier?
Pride is a very easy thing to fight.
I've met some very proud metallics.
But a metallic is cunning. They have pride.
They'd come in, be like, "This is now mine," and tell them to fuck off. I'd be like, "No."
But no, Tune, and metallics are easy. They're tyrants. They have power, they think they're capable.
Oh.
For the chromatics.
We're good.
Metallics, on the other hand, I think they might be prideful, they might be easy. Some of them, like Bozamar, with their madness. Just like it's easy to trick a gem dragon if you know innately what they want.
That's your problem. I have no idea what I want at this point.
Also,
Yeah, you know.
Sindra, you have keen mind if I'm not mistaken, right?
I do not.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
I have War Mage, or Warcaster.
That is perfectly fine. Can you just roll me a history?
I might be taking Keen Mind later.
So, as you were talking about metallic dragons and the like, you do remember that in that one particular dream, or at least the one where you managed to speak to perhaps the soul of Akra within the Horned Knight's armor, Ed had an altar that had very large intestines and bits and pieces of what looked like a gold dragon. And the new and improved Red Knight had linings and highlights of silver on it.
Yeah, for a moment, Syndra. Oh. No, I take that back, Ed. Tiernan. He has been using metallics. We just didn't notice it. The red dragon, or the red armor has gold. The
Silver.
I'm sure one of the other ones has got a gold to it.
I wonder what the hell I'm gonna look like if I absorb a piece of every type of dragon.
You look like Asgaroth, the creator. And if you absorbed something like me, you'd look a little bit like Null.
I'll give this
But
to
we're
you.
not
Only if you die.
I will also give this to you, Syndra. You recall that the Black Knight had some gold highlights on it.
Let's see, so the Black Knight, the former king of Cormyr, probably fused with a number of black dragons and ancient purples, which are just blacks that have lost their coloration. Of course, it wouldn't surprise me if that was actually my great-grandfather in armor. I do remember now that I think about it, he had gold highlights, accents. Likely that's where our gold dragon we're missing went. And I suspect the red dragon is one of the ones in Bernhau's collection.
Oh.
I'm honestly suspecting that Iron Bernhau is either working with Ed or as an eventual target. I've had my suspicions about it, considering the number of books in his library.
Both were all written by variations of Ed.
Well, he told me that he didn't notice. I'm sorry.
The Watcher didn't notice.
A collector and a mage wouldn't miss that kind of thing.
I'll trust him as far as I can throw him.
But there might be something else behind it, yeah. That being said, though, I think I need to go or when I get my spells back, I need to scry on someone.
I think it's dinner time. And also,
Right.
you and I need to have a conversation with Diabolo's children.
Oh, I thought we would wait for the others. Are we really going to try and do this? I mean, granted, I know that we do most of the talking, so...
I mean, you're not wrong.
I
The
really
only
don't
one
think Oberyn's gonna fuck this up.
who jumps into conversation is Oberina, and she's going to be like, I don't know these people.
I do feel like she's going to fuck this up somehow, but, you know.
She's a bot.
Well, she's gonna fuck something. Eventually. If I know my bards, and I've had 6 of them on my ships.
Alright.
That being said, we should get dinner, and yeah, we need to talk to Zonball.
Well, maybe we should try to talk to the future leader of the Bonebreakers, since her father's not here right now. She might have some insight about what's going on over there.
My understanding is they're going to migrate everyone here for a more defensive thing, though I am curious and theorizing something to then. It's this long shot. A dangerous long shot. But what about migrating all of them to Emerald Star?
If we can get them to agree to it, Emerald Star does have the walls, defenses, and we've already got 2 on the inside. 3, actually.
Well, the problem is the inside, the outside of the problem. Will they be accepting that?
And they owe us the largest of favors. We
Very
saved
true.
everyone who works in that town from a viral infectious species.
That still exists out there somewhere.
Yeah, speaking of that, why haven't they come up in any of these conversations that they've been having? Who the hell are these yellow people? They were tied
Yes.
to Adaria. Why are they still bothering us?
Because I imagine Ed brought them.
Yes, but why?
Well, my understanding of the conversations and things like that, Ataria's entire family or some shit was trying to bring about the end of the universe by bringing something that exists outside the crystal spheres inside one.
Outside the crystal spheres, would they be considered far? Realm-like?
Eventually, they are just known as eldritch abominations, like, well, aberrations, mimics, things like that.
I'm asking
Beholders,
far
things
realms.
that don't exist. It's possible. I'm not an expert in eldritch things. We found a pact maker, maybe. The last two I knew, though, were devils, so not really going to help there. Came across a small seaside village once that I think they were all warlocks of some kind, or severe mutations in the mer people population. I'm not sure.
Hi, Mark.
Whoa. Presents you all a whole bunch of, a tray with cups full of alcohol.
Well, I've been bleeding a lot today. This should be fun. Do I still roll a disadvantage because Tyrion has only been drinking with these people?
You can just roll normal.
Syndra just, after expending all that blood, and then go.
Mark looks
It's
a little
just slit your own
concerned.
throat. I don't think any doctor would recommend Ed. She's drinking.
Ooh. So, yeah, the,
It is a save 18 anyway.
it was a 17, actually. Tyranny just passed. As, this goes through, both of you.
Oh,
It's for both of you, but...
how does Cinder go into a drunken frenzy?
Well, she probably just wants to smack people, but there's no enemies around right now.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, that brings me up to my max.
Yeah.
Current
40.
max.
Your current max, yes. And you do hear, because I rolled for Gur for survival as he went out hunting. Comes back with a very large crocodile.
You know, I still wonder what happened to that one.
I know. I haven't seen a crocodile with a hat yet.
When we were in Stormforge, there was a story about a crocodile.
Yes.
I heard it.
I was a bit focused on Stoneforge. Do you think that was the one that we sent to fuck off?
I think it was. I remember because we sent it, and Brody already came back, and
Oh yeah, Ari was in Stoneforge at that
I
point,
know.
wasn't she? It's still there.
Who's gonna roll
what
this?
is in this?
I'm not sure, but I think it's natural, so I think that's why I had a better time with it than you did.
This is where I stick from.
Is that your real accent? Does that come out when you're drunk?
The bloody hell you talking about? I got a stuffy nose. It's still there, right?
Oh, by the way, Tyrion digs around in the greater bag of holding. He pulls out a folded black cloth. An apology for earlier. Especially now that you're drunk, this makes it a lot easier.
That is very dangerous. What is this?
If you unfold it, you see it's a flag that I don't think you've ever seen before. It's a flag from the ship in Stormforge, the only flag in Tyrann's Horde at the moment.
Oh, the one that you picked from the Ocean Razor's place. Okay. Yep. Yes.
Do I recognize the flag?
Nope, but Binge does. Hold on. I will get that hand on in a second. I was gonna.
I mean, I remember what the flag was. I was just wondering if Syndra did, like, you know.
I don't think Syndra ever went to the Ocean
Yeah.
Razor's base.
No. It was just a matter that, you know, Syndra is a pirate, so it's like,
Yes.
pirate, other flag.
But yes, you do see it.
Well, it's not Colmir. Normally that, but the Colmirian Navy is absolute shit.
Yes, because Tyrion and Syndra have spoken with Binge a few times. You do remember that it belongs to the Calignius order that belongs to Binge's world.
Oh, right. The fancy bastards that Ed was part of as a bitch. Right. Bloody hell'd you find this?
It was crashed in Stormforge. The Ocean Razors were camped near it. I saw a flag and, instincts.
Is this... You think this was a ship that brought, the late... What's his name? The guy he does air quotes, killed?
Yes, I actually think that was confirmed. That was his old ship.
Oh. If he spoke any amount of common, I would hire this monkey. Ape. Does he have a tail? I don't want to offend him.
No, they don't have a tail.
Ape. Sorry. I did not say monkey.
They don't even seem to understand what you're saying because they don't
Any
know.
of them are monkeys. They all seem to be apes. Actually, besides... Why is there only one monkey? She's the daughter of an ape. How does this make sense?
You don't know. We'll chalk it up to the DM doing some weird things with the interest.
Wow. I'm so fucking hungry. Who wants to eat a god? Primal.
A lot of the. Alright, so you guys, I'm just gonna move you guys to the more central area that they're at.
Crowded area, yeah.
Yes, because
Don't fall.
especially because Binge is there.
Bridges.
So Gerd plops down this alligator and Tyrion just starts throwing out today's steaks.
I think most of these people would die from that.
But we all ate it before. It was very helpful. I mean, the blood is what's problematic.
Gur kind of pauses for a brief moment, looks at Jaday's, the Jaday steaks. Looks very confused for a brief moment, then his jaw drops. Looks to you, Tyrion. This is... primal? How?
Yes. Another primal killed him before we got there. Tried to fight him.
This one had a
Ran
name.
for our lives.
Mm.
But I was able to collect bits and pieces.
They called this cut of meat the Jade.
You can guys roll me an insight or perception.
God, you're the best two to keep getting these rolls. At least you're way better than I am.
Well, Gur rolled a 4, so... He kind of looks very uncomfortable as he sees this, but he isn't hesitating to touch the meat. It just looks very... He looks concerned, and then just starts walking over to the large Spitfire they're putting together, as you guys are now on the ground level, quote unquote. Kind of looks over to you both and then just goes, should not be difficult to cook meat. Spitfire good? Gur has no...
It's usually what I used.
Oh shit.
Well, but that's
Batteries.
when I cooked the normal way. It was more fishy, so I was more used to it. I'm not sure what this... You ever cooked the large two-legged beasts with big mouths and tiny arms?
Yes.
Cook it like that.
Okay. Yes. No problem. He kind of looks uncomfortable, but... let's see. With the insight, yeah. It's more of like... He's not bothered by the sight of blood or meat. It's just where the source came from.
Yeah. Tyrion is just very nonplussed about it. Got a little alcohol in him. Oh, right. He points to his south, to one of the sharp tooth. Do you have a weaponsmith? Most of you, it seems like a lot of your weapons and armor are made of bone and hide, right?
Yes.
Can you show me the way?
Okay.
I have something interesting for them.
He immediately starts
And
making his way.
when you get a chance, would you send the siblings, the chieftain's kids?
I just walked past the flap of the tent. They're in there.
Oh,
So he runs...
Right, I'm just standing here. I thought I was sitting already.
So he runs all the way over there to a group that are, while they're tending their wounds, are also strapping or closing their wounds with hides and improvised arm straps. And Zindra, as you mentioned, the siblings, most of them point there. Deep discussion. Serious.
Those siblings.
So then that's the only siblings they know of. They don't know anybody
Yeah.
else.
yeah, good enough.
Yeah, well, it's the Tyrannus thing's not going to take long at all. He just takes out the, all of the Jade bits.
I'm just gonna do a
So I'll
mass
post
roll.
that in the chat. And, kind of toss them on the pile of where they're collecting things from.
Yep, you actually see some of the scrap metal. Well, mostly just the weapons that were being used on them. And
Here you go, lads. Do with this what you will. This is today's. This is all I could collect, unfortunately.
as you say
I
that,
got armor pieces in here.
as you mentioned the name Jade, they all just look in pure panic. They're like, huh? What? What?
I switch over to the draconic / primal that they speak. He's dead.
There's this uneasy silence from at least the ones at the forge or their surplus hut is what we'll call it. And you can see that for a brief moment they are giving the piece that you give them a look of reverence. And they will take it.
Use his remains to equip yourself, which is what I've always taught my children. If I ever was to die, bring him back to the battlefield.
This is strange.
Is that not how you honor your dead in this area?
1 second, the heavy sirens outside.
Yeah, Tyrion just looks really confused when they're not like instantly starting just to craft shit because like that's what he expected from the Azure dancers is like if he ever actually like died, they were supposed to take him fucking apart.
Yes, so one of them will, their equivalent to a magic user, who speaks a bit more clearer, goes, yes, it's everyone is surprised, since less than a week ago, perhaps more, many sunsets, the other primal, the primal gardener, was also killed.
Really?
Yes.
Do you know by what?
We are unsure, as this one's head kind of turns, looks toward the direction of the large campfire, but some rumors that other tribe may have had hand in it.
Rumors are rumors. Don't take them to heart. There are new primals about, and they are killing. We watched one kill today. Do not let rumors sink into your hearts. They are our allies currently. And we need everybody to stand against the foe we face. It's going to be the largest in the upcoming days will be the largest battles any of you have ever seen. You may call things war. This is going to be worse. Steal your minds, steal your bodies, protect yourself, and protect your allies.
So I'll just ping this here. Understood. Still, it is odd, no, very suspicious. Things like this not, yes, supposed to happen, law of land. Strong eat weak, but many primals dying, changing.
Stick to your clans. We are creating an alliance. We don't need any hardships between us. We already have too many facing us. We can clear up the rumors since we have all of the leaders here. I'll make sure to bring it up.
Okay. We use this. Pauses.
Good.
Thinks. Yes, for Liter. For Chieftain Zarambal for his fight.
Good.
And the one that is the shaman of the group heads inside with the other parts. Starts placing them in a particular spot to be presented.
Alright, well, after that, Tyrion's just kind of walk through them all. The fuck did Syndra go?
Syndra.
I'll start making.
Oh.
You just let me know when I arrive.
Okay, so Syndra, as you pass by and you see Ripa, you think of the thoughts of, will Alexandra get this big? You can roll me a history, or no, roll me a nature.
My sheet will open. Here we go.
It might be possible that Ripa's a mutation or some sort of freak of nature. But as you do pass by Ripa, you do sense that he is uneasy. Not towards you, but the fact that he's looking in the direction between Zarambal and Shaktima, and as you get close enough, you do hear the slight intensity of a heated conversation. You do know that our mother requires one of us to kill her. Yes, brother. But it is for the survival of our clan, and I know what needs to be done. It's just... They both stop as they both turn and face you.
No, don't mind me. I'm just completely involved in this conversation.
There's a silence as Zarbal watches you, but also Shaktima. And let me see which one of them talks first. Of course, it's going to be the male. It's going to be Zarambal. You said you're not involved. And yet, I suspect you're here on behalf of our mother. As he...
Sir, I'm sorry. No, I am completely involved. Yeah, your mother asked me to talk, so I mean, I can't say that I'm not involved in this. I am completely involved, in fact, because your decision determines considerably more about everything. Seriously, this decision doesn't just extend to your tribe. I'm sorry, but
She has been adamant that I take the mantle of champion.
you are the better choice.
Do you know what the ritual requires of me to do?
Pretty sure you have to kill her. Ritually.
And do you know how? As in the procedure of how I must kill her?
No, actually, she was very adamant about not telling me that. That was actually something I asked explicitly.
Oh, we tried to get that information, but she wouldn't fucking tell us.
Yeah, so Tyrion, you arrive as you hear the laughing part. And it is a very...
Tyrion just quickly, just as he passes Rippa, just pats him on the cheek. Goes to calm him down a bit.
Yeah, you definitely hear... It's not a jolly... This is scornful laughter.
Ah, shit.
He then takes a deep breath. You see Shaktima looking a little uneasy, but she's not in any defensive position or the like. And then he just simply says, "The ritual requires me to devour the heart of my mother, as well as making an offering to the sleeping mountain, using her corpse as the offering." If it had been any other particular way, I would have no problem with it. But the fact that it requires me to quite literally desecrate her corpse, and after what I've been seeing in these past sunrises and sunsets, and as well as the egregious actions of the gnolls that have betrayed their own, as well as the insects that are now invading us. And today, as he gestures toward the dusty, no longer existing remains of the armors, you can see why I'm a bit hesitant on the idea of carving out my mother's own heart and devouring it.
Thornball, you are dragonkin, yes?
There is a pause. It is not of a hesitation to answer, but rather more of a confusion, an uncertainty to answer. And he just answers with, I am the chieftain of the Sharktooth clan.
Do you respect your mother?
More than anything, I care for my family as
Then
well.
why do you disregard her final wish? She is older than any of us know, seen more than we will ever experience. She has chosen the way she wants to die.
Let me ask you a really personal question, Zornball. And you as well.
Me?
Shaktima.
Shatima. Shatima's his sister, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're quite literally twins. Well,
Syndra slowly pulls out that knife that she's had. Let me ask you really, because I do actually know how it feels. What will you do when you plunge the knife into their chest, your mother's chest, and she smiles at you for making the decision she wants you to make?
I'm gonna roll this for these two. Well, you just pushed some buttons for them. Oh shit. Hold on.
Thank you, Mark.
Oh.
Shaktima, don't do anything stupid. You're within 5 feet of somebody who does not like casters.
Actually, well, Zarmball is the one who did the better of the rolls. God damn, they rolled low. Surprise. But anyway. You see Shaktima, despite her scale colorings of a more darker gray or brownish tones to it, you can see that she is still petrified even. And Tiernan, you can tell that she just does not have an answer to say anything as the tightness of her jaw clamps down further. However, Zarmball's of a different mindset as you hear the internal growl in his voice. Perhaps the dragon blood in his own veins got fired up.
There it is.
I would never expect her to smile over one of her children committing matricide. And both of you can clearly hear the tightening of the grip as he has his swords to his sides. He's not making any effort to pull them, but you do hear the tension of the grip.
She turns to Zarnball, looks in his eyes. For 14 years, my mother told me I'd have to kill her to be free of the shame and everything else that she brought upon my family, because it would free me. I don't know if that was the case. She just really wanted it all to end. But my own mother smiled at me, said she was proud of me. I hate to say it, but I see the same expression in Yabala. The same instinct, the same need to see her children succeed where they failed or will fail.
She's in pain, both of you. You know, you have to have seen it.
She's dying.
Every time she casts a spell, I notice her weakening. And she just revived 5 of your kin. The toll must have been incredibly great on her. Look around. The reason those things were here was to kill her and take her power for themselves. She wants you to inherit her gifts, the gifts of the mountain. She will be proud if either one of you do it.
It will take your ability to have children.
What?
So what are sacrifices?
Well, since you now put that out, I mean, he still has a little roll, but there is a reason why I'm doing this. Well,
Rolling hot tonight,
yeah.
these two.
These two are so distraught. They're like, I don't fucking know, man.
In fact, no, Shaktima looks even more terrified as she kind of attempts to speak, but she doesn't have the strength to speak. And Zarm, I'm actually gotta roll strength for this guy because he's already given this thing a death grip. Thankfully, he's not a barbarian.
I think I just gave his fucking blacksmiths more ability to make weapons.
Oh, you definitely hear the handles breaking as Zarmbal leans or just kind of moves a little bit closer to your direction, Syndra, and goes, considering your mother had given you time to prepare, I ask of you, if your mother had suddenly dropped in the question that you must kill her to save an entire tribe and more, and shackle yourself to an entity that might not even give a damn of your existence or those around you, but you still have gone through with it.
Yes. My mother's horde is her army. She would do anything to protect them. Even give her own life. If she asked me to take it, I would do it.
I think in her own sick, twisted way, my mother wanted a fresh start for me. Free from her. Free from that son of a bitch that raped her. Free from all of that. I mean, I have other theories that I'm horribly tied to a certain number of beings and entities out there that have completely shaped this into the nightmare it is. But ask yourself, Zarmbal, are you really ready to lead these people? It will take everything from you, but I can tell you, you really don't think you have it. She's going to turn. Arcanos!
Oh, Arcanos.
And yell out for Arcanos to come over.
Question, Tyranid, would Arcanos listen to Syndra? Or would
I mean, he'd be confused, but probably.
Okay. We got Arcanos heading over. He's not drunk anymore.
Tell me, Arcanos. What are you willing to sacrifice for your new family?
Oh boy, that's a question to ask him, huh?
Actually, before he even answers, Orkanos, if I die, what do you do?
I follow your orders.
Which are? He's staring directly at Zarenball.
Oh, let me see if Arcanos notice what you're doing. Where is your bloody sheet? I know I put you somewhere. Did I leave it?
He's in the ship still.
I knew I forgot something. Okay, I'm gonna go pick him up later. Pull him into the other
Yeah.
spot.
Every time I need to fucking find a sheet, I'm like, fuck, where's the goddamn... He's at the very bottom of the,
Yeah, I'll get him.
ships.
Okay. Alright, I don't need to roll anything for him. So, Arcanos, still staring at you, Tyrannin, goes, take you apart, bring you back to the battlefield as our blades, and to continue to fight on.
Good lad.
You see, he's a little confused, but Zarwell just gives a heavy sigh, and it's not a defeated one. It's not even, well, it's actually more of a frustrated one. I know what needs to be done. I don't agree with the methods of it, but it is as you requested of me. Or question, as one would say. I do intend to lead my people, my clan, through this strange times. And he looks over to his sister, and you have yet to have your own kin, your own children. So there's no way I will let you have that burden upon yourself. However, I will ask that you keep an eye on the others in case something goes wrong. As much as my situation requires me to be shackled to the will of the sleeping mountain, as much as I do trust our mother, I do not trust that thing. As he
Good.
holds the sword out, and you can see that the handle, or at least the leather that's binding it, is been broken. In fact, he's holding it by the almost falling out, falling out tang of the blade, and you do see some blood as he points in the direction of the Devil Mountains.
Good. That'll make you a fine follower.
Especially considering following the dead is always its own problem.
I will speak to...
She leans in close to Zarenball. Just be ready for one thing. It'll haunt you for the rest of your existence.
He leans a little bit close to you as well. You can actually see the... Just roll me a perception at advantage. You see for a brief moment what looks to be like a black dragon looking right at you as well. Younger, but definitely nowhere... Yeah, a young black dragon looking back at you. Or at least the shadow produced from Zarenball's figure.
With my attunement to the ley lines, can I just see that?
Uh-huh.
There he is. He kind of says under his breath.
And in reply to your comment, Syndra, I suppose such things have haunted you for that long.
74 years.
He withdraws the blade, although as he lets go, you see the leather holdings just fall. And he looks to Shaktima, his sister. Return to the feasting area. I'll have words with my mother first, and we'll make a plan according to when the ritual will be. But I'll make sure that she at least have some last-minute moments with you. And he just turns and starts walking. He pauses to where the tree had fell down because it was hit by the disintegration spell earlier.
Sorry about that.
And he begins heading off.
Shaktima, I apologize for needing to be so forceful, but to protect your clan, it needs to happen sooner than later, especially with his upcoming battle.
She pauses as she hears this, but why does... She pauses to really think about it, or at least to pick the words. He has to fight for the alliance to unify the 3 clans. Why would he need the Sleeping Mountains' power?
Because we assume that,
The Venom Hand is cheating.
yes, there's going to be tactics used that you've never seen before.
Also, on top of that, it's a matter of time. Your mother's dying at a very quick rate.
Especially with what she had to do today.
And sadly, we don't have much time to think about such things. I was curious, how well do you think this place will survive more attack?
She pauses. It can last, but only if Mother remained at her full strength. She had been weakening this past month.
Well, the outsider outpost, as you call it, owes us a very great favor. Holding both of the clans should be plenty for their accommodations.
The walls, druids, I don't know if you know what a druid is. Nature magic.
Yes, my mother is one such.
Yes.
And they could use your warriors' assistance as well.
They are under siege as well. And on top of that, they have a very skilled blacksmith and chefs. Not going to lie, that would actually. Logistically, it's a possibility. It's why we're asking.
My niece and nephew are there, no?
Yes, yes
Indeed.
they are. And they're making quite the good impression on the outsiders. They have protected the walls and helped in our cause to save many of the very important people of that city's lives.
I see. My brother, while suspicious of the outsiders, was not locked into the mindset to avoid or purge them.
Well, I'm glad, because at one point we were outsiders.
Perhaps that is why Mother wished for him to succeed.
She also wishes for you to have a happy life. Your mother is one of the best that I've seen in my many years. She may even rival my own.
She's definitely outdoing mine.
Am I supposed to laugh at that?
No,
I think it was a joke, but I really don't know.
My mother spent 14 years telling me I'd have to kill her and telling me legends about a dragon.
Yes.
I had to witness things locked in the bottom of a ship that nobody between ages 0 and 14 should ever have to see.
Okay, that wasn't fun. Got it.
No, my mother was a
Your sense of
horrible
humor is
person.
strange, so I'm trying to pinpoint when I'm supposed to laugh.
I'm drunk, CNN.
That's
Did you
that's
see
why I
what the
thought this
ape
conversation would
drank?
be easier.
I mean, you saw, you drank the same.
I did.
tasted that last.
It tasted fantastic.
Anyway, I hate to say it, but it's a tactical consideration. They can provide you with metal weaponry, amongst other things. You can provide them with armor. It's an equal thing because they're under siege, you're under siege. And it's only a matter of time before both of those become under siege by the exact same thing, which you already are, technically.
And you can teach them how to build like you do. They have many druids who can make very tall trees. And they have walls that work well against sieges. A lot of the enemies are still attacking from ground, while if we consolidate all of our forces, that is one of the best strategies in a defensive war, which is currently what we're playing at right now.
That, and sadly, we're at a war. Eventually we have to make a strong push back.
I'm sure that will happen after 2 weeks,
Yes.
13 days.
My brother was hoping for a decisive push against the Raiders of Yengul, as they call themselves.
Yes. I wonder if we do Sindra, should we try to contact the other clan?
The one that we told explicitly to go to Emerald Star and meet us there?
Did we do that?
No, they're actually supposed to come here.
They were supposed to come here.
Actually, I thought we told them to meet at Emerald Star.
No,
They
we
would
told
be
them to
there.
meet here.
Oh, right. Yeah, they should be here by now.
Yeah.
Speaking of
think
which-
I need to scry
That's
on
a
some
second
more.
scry that you need to spend tomorrow.
Speaking of, which I was actually rolling for that. Damn.
Ooh.
So, I need you guys to roll me a perception.
Ah!
Alright, it wasn't too high. But you
Oh
do
my
hear...
God. Okay, I was about to say, did I fail? No.
Yeah, you do hear
ahead.
a distinct whistling down below.
Oh,
Is that something we should be worried about?
well, I think,
Not of
speak of the
our...
devil.
So, just so I can save myself a headache. How many did survive? Wow, not many.
Yeah, but 15's 15.
So, you do see from the bottom, or at least slowly heading towards you guys, not making any effort to hide, but also doing their best to catch your attention, is actually Red Tears and what looks to be like 15 other gnolls. all very banged up. In fact, Red Tears looks more like most of her armor's falling apart.
Oh, perfect. We just gave a shit
The
ton of
fact-
materials.
The fact that the fact that she made it through the perimeter surprises me. We do
They
have
are very competent. Tiernan will actually begin to hop down and land on a branch above them. It's good to see you again, Red Tears.
Tyranid, it is... I suppose this is better situation before. What has happened? And I see, or rather smell, the scent of carnage and war here.
You just missed the fun. A large-scale attack from one of the enemies we told you about.
The walking, hollowed ones.
Yes. We were able to survive. At least the majority of us.
She kind of looked you,
Come along. I'll show you to the lift.
and
And Tiernan will bring him
Yeah.
over to the lift and...
I'll just plop them over here for
Yeah.
convenience sakes. But Tyrion, as you look at the other ones, they all have scorch marks. Some of them look really burnt. Some lost hair. And definitely a lot of deep gashes and poke marks. And
Did you run into a fire elemental?
no, I do not think so. It was a hollowed one made of fire.
Oh.
The armor was
Maybe
red.
Kettle cage thing.
Yes. We are about... She kind of pauses, looks... 1/3 of our number now.
Oh.
I apologize, I just had to go through that.
When did you run into them?
Hours ago.
And how?
The traitors.
I
Right.
fucking knew
So those bitches are working with Ed. That just cements that bullshit.
So that means young gold is one of the other primals. One of the ones that don't return their energy to the lands.
I do not know the specifics you speak of, but we had encountered the traitors, and we had believed we had the numbers advantage over them until these walking monstrosities, the flaming hollowed ones, erupted or landed. They fell from the sky.
Yeah,
Large, open centers with fire.
Horns would remind me of the Minotaurs of the North.
Cedric, could you make any illusions or anything? Like, could you? No?
I might. Let me see.
Like, even though it's just like basic wizard spell? People always boast about.
I don't have prestidigitation. Syndra will motion over to like the,
Really?
the horrible rusted remains that exist. Something like that.
Well, you don't have to worry about that since Shaktima is a sorcerer. So
I get to prepare cantrips, Tiernan, so...
I'm a fighter!
Prestidigitation. What the fuck am I going to use prestidigitation out here when I need shit to kill things?
Cleaning? I don't know, you're a wizard, everybody...
but Shaktima will perform the spell or the minor illusion
Oh, thank
since she was there to see the carnage. And Red Tears immediately has the sharp teeth bared. Yes, those things.
So they didn't meet the Red Knight, but they did see those. Those are new. At least for us, we haven't seen them before until today. Gestures to the giant fallen down tree. Had a hand in that.
How many did you encounter? We had found, or we came across 4 of them. Managed to defeat one of them, but we had to retreat.
We had 2 with 30 smaller armored ones. And 2
And one
weird ones, and let's see, the green one that we destroyed, and the horned one.
2 of the ones you should avoid fighting at all costs.
Well, we killed
There's-
one of them.
Well, yes, but there are several of the knights that nobody should try to fight unless they are prepared to die. But Red Tears, you surviving 4 of them proves proud to your warriors.
She looks a
Sure
bit
they're in.
sullen by that. Not without sacrifice.
Many sacrifices were made here today as well. You will... He looks at Oricanos because after a battle, they would feast in the honor of the dead, but he's not sure how everybody else around here.
Well, you see some of them giving them dirty looks, but they're not making any hostile movement since... Especially Gur, who goes, "Oh, there are Dust Riders still alive."
Tiernan will hop up on a... Is this like a little raised portion?
Yeah, kind of like one of those little den holes, but it can be used as a raise.
He'll kind of just stand on it and holler out, "These Dust Riders are with me. If any harm comes to them, it'll be at your fault. You'll have to deal with me. They are proud warriors. They fought twice as many of the flaming ones as you did today, and they're still standing. Treat them with honor. They are our allies."
So, there is a long moment of silence. Some notable agreements. A lot of them still treating their own wounds and injuries. You definitely hear what sounds to be like a howl of dissent, but nothing comes out of it as... I'm just going to roll for Gur because he's also there. Here you are, you big lovable monkey. Well, he's actually a ape, but... Oh, he doesn't have any... Okay, I'll just have to roll this then, because he's using his size. It's more concerned about looking at the remaining red tiers and the remaining Dust Riders, but his presence is enough to not have anyone make a active physical resentment. Though...
And I need to tell you what it's going to change groups and you're having the same problems.
Gur does add much bad blood from all the clans. Gur know this, yet Gur hopes for the peace thing you spoke about.
Their enemy is our enemy. If that's enough, then that's enough. They have just as much reason to fight the Venom Hand as anybody, if they're all into the same thing. Our enemies are, of course, the Raiders of Yengo. Reasons we're going for.
Kind of see Gur doing the whole processing, then you see the steam in his head coming out. And then...
Consider it this way, Gara. Go ahead.
Consider it this way. The Raiders of Yingul, the Venom Hands, the Bugs, the people dressed in gold and yellow, with the weird creatures, and the armors are all of our enemies. Every single one of us here. They come to take our lives. So therefore, everybody we put that wants to fight them, be treated as a friend, at least until that war is done. Right?
Yeah. Yes. Gur understands. I'm just gonna roll for Gur.
Come on, buddy.
Wisdom.
Hey! Erno's War.
Right. Gur understands.
The one book Gur read was The Art of War.
The only book he completed from front to back.
Thank God it was the illustrated version.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, I have to pee again.
Go, no worries. But yeah, there's still the silence. Zarmbal had retreated, or at least he literally camped it himself near the hut of Yabala, but he looks ready, or at least resolved to complete what he's going to do. Red Tears with the remaining 15 Dust Striders that are left out of the 45 that were supposed to have been alive, but there's a big number of them left. No, not much left of them.
As a curiosity, Red,
Yes.
where were the remains of the fire creature beasts?
We defeated one of them. The other three we could not. They... It was by... She directs more toward northwest. We were hoping to stop by at one of the small caches that we had for supplies. And then we saw some of the traders lurking about. Again, we had believed we had the numeral superiority, and then the fire creatures came crashing down upon us when we engaged traders. The fire creatures would grab my people and put them into themselves and burn them alive. And she also presents her swords, which you can see that they melted. The metal, or at least the edge part of it, is thoroughly melted and looks like a scrap of iron now.
Well, looks like you need new weapons.
I've already got some irons in the fire for that point. Speaking of which, it's not weird. I need to take some measurements.
I am still a little bit concerned about you gaining weight, Shannon.
Why is everybody shorter?
You're taller, dear.
What?
Gur looks, and I'm gonna roll with Gur's wisdom. He's like, yes, you got big. A little bit bigger. And he tries to do a little bit, but you don't see any space between his pointer and thumb.
Right. I have some material left I could make some armor for you out of and adjust my own as well. I still have 12 yards of Nobble.
It'll probably just take you a yard.
For myself, but I also want to. I mean,
Oh.
you told me her armor is fucked, so
It is.
yeah.
Probably gonna need more than just that and other stuff. 'Cause-
I have So I've got actually I lied. I have 19 yards.
Okay, let me just see what was. 'Cause I have to
Go
roll
for
armor.
me. I'm gonna go for fire. I gave the Jade shit away.
Oh, she was wearing plate armor.
Ooh.
Yeah. But it's melted quite a bit too.
Well, there's a bunch of Jade bones in that fucking shack. If they didn't use all of them to make a weapon for Zara and Paul, we might be able to salvage some of that.
I will speak to the chieftain then. Where is?
He's going to need a day or two.
In the
I-
meantime, she's
Acting
The best.
Lita.
and well, Gur's a good contact.
Gur no think he good contact.
Miser,
Yes.
I have 59 glowing orange rocks. Could they be smelted?
Repeat that again. Lower.
I have 59 glowing orange rocks.
Ah. Yes, they could. 59. All right. We'll work with something with that.
That might be able to be turned into armor. Who knows?
We'll work with that.
I don't know if we'll be able to provide a use of them because they're just kind
Also-
of warm. It's sort of fucking fire with them.
Yeah. So Tyrion, you also remember the particular rumor that some of the Sharptooth have against the Bone Breakers.
Yes. Grr.
As you're saying that, Shaktima goes over, looks over Red Tears and the other Dust Striders, looks over to both you, both Tyrion and Syndra. I will take them into the area for them to get food. They look like they need it.
Thank you.
She will take
Grr,
them.
can you do me a favor and call your kid to here? There's a question that we need to... There are rumors going around. We just need to make
Gokin's
sure.
kids. Yeah.
Yes.
Gerby asking for what rumor.
The Primal Gardener. Do you have anything to do with it?
You guys could roll me insight.
I feel bad rolling inside against Gur. He's such a
I
great
know.
guy.
So honest.
There is definitely a look of hesitation. And Gur keeps looking over in the direction, not where the heir and children are, but he's looking in the direction where Gokin went.
Oh shit.
And
That explains a lot about Gokin.
Gur. So here's a question: is Syndra still over there, or is she close by? Like, as in standing
But
right.
she would have moved closer.
Okay, so
You know, we're having a conversation here.
yeah, so Gur gets a little too close, or as if trying to whisper or hold a secret thing, and goes, "Oh, don't tell Orika or others, but yes."
Oh.
Please tell me he told you why. He didn't, did you? Gur, it's better for us to know.
He did say why. Gur not Sure. Understood. Well. Looks around.
Just
Looks.
keep what he said.
I'll go with the sporting wisdom in this one. Need catalyst. Fruit ascension. For the
That's fine.
challenge. But
That is. He
Chief,
needs more, doesn't he?
no. Chief Goken, not quite sane. Angrier.
Shit.
Most tribe feel that, but he, Chief Goken, me, and Ralma went speak with Posaka, but not go well, and I am sorry. I could not stop Chief Goken.
It's alright. There's a lot of shifts in the primals happening right now.
This is
Figure out a way to shift blame. Sidra, you're good at that, aren't you?
That's why, when past meet of Jude, Goken took heart of Posaka.
Yes, the fake primal took all of the internal organs of Jude before we were able to stop it. He's going to be incredibly powerful. Even before he was able to fully digest it, we couldn't stop him.
Wait. You said other killed Jude.
Yes. There was a new primal. One like Ingol who doesn't give back to the land, just takes.
You can kind of see he's scratching his head, not in frustration, but it's just...
He's using very short sentences.
Yeah, no, it seems like he's trying to remember something more clearly. Right. Remember, Goken wished to take Chief Zarmbol's spot to fight Amarex. Something about Amarex not right.
Yes, I clocked it last time we actually spoke with him. Amarex has been... No. It was the first son of Amarex. Was not in his right mind. If Amarex has changed too now, we're going to have even more issues.
Yanmarex, first son of Amarex, is always violent. Even I do not wish to fight him. But, the brother, Farmarex.
Ah, it was Farmarex. I'm sorry. I thought the smaller one was the older one.
Nope.
Ah, yes. I made a mistake. I assumed the smaller one was the elder.
Nope. Yamarex is Chimerex's brother.
Yeah, I just put that in
he's
RP.
Yeah.
Farmarex is under the influence of the black-robed one. The one we warned you about. he's infecting their entire clan.
Yeah, I think so too. Sigma Rex not be arrogant before, but now is.
Can we change the people who are fighting after it's already been set?
Yes, must be agreement between
They...
chieftains.
Right.
I feel like there might have to be something else decided as well with that.
So my opponent most likely won't change then, right?
No,
Depends.
at least as of now, Sigma Rex desires your life,
I believe I've irritated him enough.
which is odd since usually I be fighting him.
He really didn't like that I shot him with the bow. It was a very big disrespect, because he was talking when I did it.
I guess so. Though I be fighting Yanmarex, since I am closest to his size.
Can I gauge how strong... Wait, no. All magical effects get dispelled as soon as we enter that arena, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he can't, like, take a potion before.
Oh, he could,
Okay.
but it's more of someone casting a spell on you that gets removed.
So, explicitly, like,
In
a
other
large
words,
reduce cast on Tyranid would be removed.
yes. Or haste, or spells that have been cast by another person. If it's been used by the person themselves, their own ability, it will not be dispelled. But they said no outside help, as in no familiars or things that belong to somebody else.
Okay.
If a spell is stored in a ring of spell storing, can I use it? Or do I need to
Yes.
actually be able to cast a spell?
You could possibly. The spell Ring of Storing is attunement, right? Yes, it is. So you can indeed use it. There are loopholes.
Armor, weapons, cape. I don't really want to deattune. But yeah, that was just a theory. But yeah, I was just... I wanted to make sure I knew that rule before, because I mean I've been holding on to something for a very long time.
Yeah, no, I understand. Again, Gur goes, potion drinking, yes, allowed, but no casting from other person. Points to Syndra, like she use powerful spell, make me stronger, not allowed. If I use spell, make myself stronger, yes, allowed.
You and I will have time to talk before we fight, right?
Yes,
Well, I believe I have something that can give you the upper hand, and it will be totally your decision to take it or not.
we decide when the time comes.
Exactly.
But I
So
worry.
drink to make you stronger than ever.
Question, though.
Mm,
You say that there's no spell work and stuff that if I were to cast a spell on somebody that would be allowed.
yes.
I know this is a very odd question, but is there a rule of, say someone were to be cheating, but had masked it so that it wasn't noticed? What is the repercussions of cheating?
God damn you.
The bad things.
Alter does something. I am unsure. Also, other primal that oversees it would take action.
Which primal is that anyway?
There is this look of shame on Gur's face. One such watcher was Osaka.
Would it be the dreamer?
Yes. Shroud sometimes appears near his territory.
This is going to be a shocking thing, but I'm still linked with Syndra. That's an incarnation of me, by the way.
I hate you.
I know. He sucks.
But is he at least going to be fair?
Fair, yes. And if he's as I am, if anybody cheats, they will be eaten.
Because I have a theory, but I don't like the other possibility of it. I think they're being controlled.
The
But-
dreamer? Yeah, I would actually highly anticipate the dreamer to be under Ed's control.
Oh no, I meant the Venom Hand.
Yes, that as well. His pool is aligned with my old necklace. I believe you can.
Wait. No, she just said oh, and then
Oh,
wait. Okay, we need to have a conversation about that. But not right now.
Tyrion thinks it just disintegrated when it hit the core. Like, he couldn't find it, so he didn't care anymore. He's like, oh, and it's dead.
What, you actually saw her shatter it? Or have Kermit?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you went unconscious. You met your other self.
Yeah.
Gur looked very confused for a moment.
But we just stopped talking for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just like a bunch of weird facial expressions at each other.
To which Gur kind of looks very innocently like trying to,
Sorry,
Are you-
yeah, things that don't need to be worried about.
you did the no talking thing.
Yes, good.
Yeah, Tannen does
as
that.
well.
Goken does that too.
Yes, and when I first met you all, I tried to do that to him, and he made my brain into jelly.
It was funny.
Yes, Goken really strong, which
But it wasn't me.
is why he wishes to fight Amarex. He said Amarex is odd. I'm not sure why.
Well, theoretically, Amarex is being controlled by something else. Or Amarex did the same thing Goken did, and is now different.
I believe the combination of the two are possible.
Probably. It would explain why Amarex is so powerful suddenly.
Yes.
Amarex set out to the weaker one.
You and I just need to ensure that we win our fights, so we win the majority, alright?
Yes, mostly
Yes.
majority wins. 5 fights.
My fight, Gert's fight.
Hmm?
I thought there were only 4, right? Who else is fighting? I know me, Gur, Zarin Ball,
And Goken.
and Goku. That's 4.
Yep. As Gur adds, we need 5th.
Shit.
Well,
Looks at Syndra. Ari?
okay, yeah, probably. That actually is a much better consideration than I was thinking. Which
We're gonna send a
was...
bot in there.
Oh, please, she's just going to eat them. Come on.
I know, which should be worse. There should have like a 3rd bullshit in that.
Wouldn't eat her be better? She eats, and that would be good, right?
She's the souls.
Oh,
Yes.
But no, actually, it would be absolutely terrible. I was actually just thinking, though, she would lose. Or, bow out. And we would just have to assume the other 4 of you would do perfectly fine.
We would need at least 3 wins. We can give me and Gur the advantage.
Gokin's given himself the advantage on that fight.
And Zarnball, if he goes through with our plan, not our plan, but Yabala's plan, would have the advantage, hopefully.
Potentially.
His fight. Potentially. Gur is at, or, not Gur, Braid, Leader Gur.
Goken.
Gokin. I should know that because it's like Goku. Gokin has had time to attune to his new powers. I
And
think
knowing
switching
the
that fight
rules.
might actually be better.
Well, that's the thing. Knowing the rules, being able to check. I have an idea. It's a terrible idea.
Don't tell
But
us,
it
baby.
might tilt things even further. I guess Binge would be the other stand-in, but I'm actually thinking Ari might be the better idea. Depending on who they're fighting.
Alright, I mean, she's fucking terrifying in a combat, but it does seem like she needs the aid of allies to do her absolute best.
Ari can stand her own when she really puts her mind to it.
Let's say Mavis, but she's gone right now.
Yeah, that's... Mavis might... Mavis has done a lot of things, but I'm going to be honest, she really hasn't had time to come to terms with, this. She had emotions to everything.
Yeah.
You and I have been killing for years, but Mavis, I get that
She's
feeling.
really new at this.
She's good, don't get me wrong, but Ari's had, a good 20 years. I forget sometimes. Amana taught her, I mean, that's the entirety of it, it's really a thing.
Though, I will say Goken mentioned not to let Zarmbol's children fight if they insist.
No.
No. We're all in agreement on that. That's why I'm fighting.
Say, do not wish for heirs or son to fight.
Nah, that would be foolish.
What about the drunk ape over there? Mock?
Mock? Mock no more a bone breaker. Calls, independent traveler.
Dude, it gets his people expand. Rodney!
Explains a lot.
We could have him fight.
Mock and Talk speak to Goken. Big argument, and Goken kicked them out. Simply because something of Aether prize? Aether? Something about the drinks they serve.
Well, I don't know much about that.
We've only had you a dwarf. Oh, I do.
You know hundreds of them. You know 2 entire clans.
I
Right.
wonder if they've been...
No.
I mean, I'm not joking. They would probably kill those poor dwarves.
Mock and Talk not be out of the lands of the Bone Breakers. And he points. See? Mock be giving everyone drinks.
You do have to admit he's very hospitable.
Yes, which is sad. Gur enjoys those drinks. But they complain that I don't give them currency.
Money.
Did you mean enterprise earlier?
Is that what it is?
As in, they want to make money off the drinks.
Gur thinks so. Don't know. Too complicated.
Right. Understandable.
But metagame speaking wise, yes, you nailed it. They want an enterprise.
Cinder, if we go back to Green Cross, we can ask. I mean, we could try to figure out who the strongest one there is and have them fight for the Green Cross clan.
And then the strongest person that we know is probably somewhere in Stormforge at the moment. And I'm not
she
entirely
can't fight
sure
well
he's
on
done
that.
yelling at your knight.
He? Oh,
Yes, the one who can't die.
yeah. Can you contact him?
I wish I could, to be honest.
Maybe the bot can.
I think she's having a vision quest.
Oh, yes, we could. After that's done. But, I mean, to be honest, I'm not sure who else could fight besides him or Ari.
Depending on the situation, there's always that chance that I might be able to. It might be a suicide mission too. I have no idea. Like I said, it depends on who we have to fight. But no, the
Yes,
caster.
I'm not sure who the fifth fighter is.
You know, if it's another caster, I might be able to fight, stand my own. On the other hand, it could be some horrifying abomination of Ed.
You see Gur rubbing his head again.
Come on, buddy.
Think it was mage, I think.
Great.
I am not sure. Was Pudgy.
Wait.
Little fat guy.
It didn't happen to look like a really fat version of that guy over there. As she points over at Kermit.
Kermit! I totally forgot Kermit! Why the fuck do we forget about Kermit?
Because the one that plays him is not here.
Oh my god, Kermit, yeah, throw his ass in the ring.
Oh, him. I forgot him. I threw him. So he okay? Yeah.
We forgot about him too.
Yeah, he very small.
Personally,
Why does he stink so badly?
oh, you don't want to know.
Sweet.
He's also poisonous.
Yes,
touch.
try not to touch him.
We
Is
should probably
that,
warn everyone not to touch him. He's dangerous to most people.
is that why Gurfoot is itchy?
Yes.
As
Well,
some of you
there's
remember.
some seriously bad hives. Oh my.
Wash your foot.
Ugh.
Oh,
And your hand, whichever one you used to throw it. Would you throw it with your foot?
He did. He threw him with his foot. He did. He
That's
did.
going to get infected.
Ugh.
well, mostly it's topical, I think, but still, that's not. Yeah, you need to. Is it? I think I saw an aloe bush over that. You should definitely go rub your foot in that, like, after you wash it.
Right. It goes immediately. And with the grace of a gorilla leaping, you probably see everyone else react as he leaps and he kind of shakes the platform a bit.
That was the structural branch.
As he
It's
talks,
still there
Tyrion looks at Drew. How the fuck do we forget about Kermit?
because we've been trying to.
Right.
but you do see one of the shamans of the Bone Breakers kind of point very angrily and start shouting at Gur while Gur is talking to them in a mix of primordial and Bone Breaker language.
I have to wash my foot.
I just imagine it's like all swollen and huge, and like nobody's noticed it.
No, because they're usually looking up, not down. So we'll just say this is the bathhouse or something to get some water. They start heading down. But yes, I'm glad somebody remembered. Gur did pick up Kermit with his foot. Like, oh, kick.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Kermit's fine, he's been doing great, but at the same time here and then, I still don't trust him, to be honest.
I don't think he knows how to use his weapon correctly. I've seen him hit things with the blunt side of it so many times.
I'm not going to lie, I'm actually impressed he survived this long. I mean, I expect Bozamot to peck his eyes out by now, but that's just me.
I'm sure if Bozamot tried, he'd eat him.
Hey, he's also because he sleeps in the toilet.
That's another thing.
Yes, you do see Bozamar sitting very comfortably eating a nice piece of meat, but keeping a distance from Kermit.
Oh, speaking of that, I'm fucking starving.
Yeah, and you need to tell me about the fact that why there's another you here.
About that, I'm not sure. It's probably an old reincarnation that his body died. He really wouldn't tell me much. Just kind of an asshole.
Question. If I kill him, do I kill you too?
I hope not, because I plan on killing him too. That was a dick.
I mean, I feel like if you consume him, it's a different story. So,
But
yeah.
do I get the rest of my soul? Because I'm pretty sure he lost the... He was all blue. He did not have any sapphire in him.
And we're a variation of the paradoxes that don't make any sense. If I'm understanding correctly, we are one of a kind amongst a million chances.
Right. He really did not talk about you much, no matter how many times I asked.
Oh,
And
really?
To be honest, I really do think he sold you all out to Ed. He's... Like I said, I recognize the signature of my necklace surrounding his pool, which is like his domain, I guess.
I mean,
So either he
have
figured
you
out
ever
a way
thought
to...
about selling this to him?
Say it again.
Have you ever thought about selling us to whatever?
No.
Good. So I think I'd have to stab you just for the thought.
I mean, you're all like extremely powerful and hate him as well. Why would I sell you out?
Exactly. Like I said. According to what I've understood, though, you're not the only one who's done that. One of my others sold all of you out.
Now, both of us doing that makes the most sense out of the rest of the party.
My problem is, I look at it and I think it's a dumb, stupid idea.
So do I.
Because there's no guarantee I could ever actually do anything other than just fuck us both.
Yes, I mean, even if I sold you all out, I would assume he would just use me for his own gain and murder me, use me as a fucking battery.
Of course, Ed isn't tracking us anymore, so that's going to be odd. Unless somebody else has a freaking bunch of Golemites on them, in which case we probably need to determine that. But I do need to talk to Overina about that phylactery she's probably carrying.
Reflect what?
Yeah, that's the other person I have to scry tomorrow.
It's the book, isn't it?
Yes. I think that's Defoe's phylactery.
Hello. Wrong
As you-
character.
Yeah. So, as you say the foe's phylactery, two things happen. First, Orica appears to simply say, there's plenty of food left, but it is going to disappear once Gerd joins us to eat. I suggest you guys have your share quickly before he returns to whatever he was doing. And thank you for aiding us.
Your
We should be
allies.
thanking you.
I am only a healer, one who heals with song.
One of the most important things on the battlefield. You saved many lives today. Don't put that out.
She gives a polite bow as she prepares to head out.
Also, this is everyone's war. Not just ours, and not just yours. Idiots like the Venom Hand. Everybody else just chose the wrong side.
I hope they come to their senses.
Well, we'll beat them into their senses in a couple of weeks now, won't we?
There's an unusual silence from her. She kind of looks elsewhere, which you can either roll me perception or insight.
We're great. We're the best party to be having a fucking RP session.
Yep. She kind of looks in this direction. Not at you guys, but just elsewhere. Then turns, gives a acknowledging nod. Very well. And begins to head out. Now she does so. Syndra, you hear the book Nicholas speak. And he simply states, well, there is a problem with that, but, Milady Defoe, she no longer required a phylactery. She, as one would say, to remove her lichdom, she consumed her own phylactery.
Oh. I had heard the rumor about that.
Yes,
Being stability.
apparently before she sealed me away somewhere else, but not in the strange temple below, she had me at a you kind of see him trying to remember something as he looks like he's chewing the air for a brief moment, and I'm just gonna roll this for good old Nicholas. I gotta roll his history. He rolled a 2. God damn. I vaguely recall something of opening the gate, and then everything went black.
Which gate?
I do not remember, sadly. Strange.
I've heard that statement before, and I really don't like it.
Strange. I remember up to a point, and then it just all went black, like someone took all the lights out of my eyes. Curious. I might need to find more of these copy runes to consume and get more memories back. Ah,
Do you happen to remember why she left you there?
this would be another history roll he needs to make. You hear a brief moment of silence or even maybe a bit of sadness. She said that she no longer required my being as a catalyst, as she exceeded the boundaries of, well, the boundaries and necessities of my usage. I was but a hindrance now. A bit sad, but it is as it is.
Well, that definitely leads me to some questioning of her actual capabilities as a wizard.
Oh, she is no longer a wizard.
It was a generalized term, Nicholas.
Ah, the sarcasm.
No, it's just a statement.
The satire.
Sure, we'll go with that.
You're doing that thing where you don't talk again.
Oh no, you're hearing it loud and clear.
Oh God!
The book is talking. The mouth is moving.
Are you sure that's not a fucking phylactery?
No, I'm pretty sure it's a sentient conduit to the afterlife, but you know.
I believe the proper term is that I'm an awakened book. Although, unlike the usage of the awaken spell, I have become awakened through other means, as in the mass gathering of magical conduits, power, and of course the usage of the runes.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of, considering that you had performed such adequate service, I can grant you at least one of the spells within me that are of the ancient sort of magic, though you will need some time to properly be able to use them.
I see.
You have your choice, but be sure to use one at a time since your current constitution is a bit lacking at the moment. But as you get stronger, you will be able to use these spells efficiently, and I believe once you are strong enough, I may be able to help you cast at least one 10th level spell.
What?
As I had said to the lady here, Sindra, before, I have existed well before the Magic Empire, the Nephilian Empire, as did my master, my former master. I suppose there's a silence.
Going to honor.
Yeah.
Well, let's go get some food. I need to sleep.
I'm so fucking hungry.
Yes, I
Eaten
believe
since
nutrients.
breakfast.
Go. I suggest you go get your nutrients. I suspect Gur should be heading back within 15 minutes.
Well, that is depends on if you found that aloe bush that I was vaguely pointing out in a direction, so.
And with that, we will end the session. Oop. So, we will end the session for tonight. We made some progress, at least lore-wise, RP. Thank you to my two players who were able to make it. The others were not able to. Again, real-life stuff. No problems. I got some fun things for them when they return. And I am your DM for this evening, Nizer Mark.
And you find my content on my newest update to my Twitch is Miser Mark. Don't need to deal with the 2010 anymore. And also same thing with YouTube. You can also find collaborations that I'm in, part of Jeeves Adingus and Transparency Manor on both YouTube and Twitch respectively. And I shall hand it over to our tomorrow's DM. Are we going to have Drake's Salvation? Perfect, to Jeeves Adingus.
I hope so. If we get the majority of the players in Drake's Salvation, we will have a session. It looks like the party is going to organize their little cruise that they have to pull a distraction while they assault the
Distillery.
The brewery, yeah. It's the distillery. I was trying to figure out the name. I think it's the Jameis Brewery.
I didn't get the name.
Distillery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the Jameis Distillery. It's a playoff of Jameson because they're the original, so there's no son. All right, yeah, but it will be a good time. They're going to fight their, as the party knows, their first consumer, and we'll see how that goes. Moogle?
Yep. Hi, I'm Goth Moogle. I do commission work. Link in the description usually. Yeah, I'm tired. I have had a heck of a weekend, so excuse me, my brain's kinda dumb. I'll be playing Callisti tomorrow, and that's right, we don't have our Tuesday game this week, do we?
No, we don't.
Not, because our DM is
Gone for vacation.
Yep. So then we'll cycle back around to Miser's game, and then it'll be Sea of Sorrows the following Monday. So...
where we dance in the Icar Swamp.
Yep.
Alright, everyone. Have a good night.